sit up, you sit up, you sit up.
stereophonic sound for the home is recorded on 2 separate tracks, each one giving special emphasis to certain sections of the orchestra, as heard from those positions. Now, when played back simultaneously on 2 separate systems, the sounds are blended together to achieve a new dimension in sound, impossible to obtain in a monaural recording.
After 2 straight losses, the Falmouth Commodores are back on the road again, this time against the red-hot Chatham Anglers, who have won 7 of their last 9. With just 5 games left, every matchup counts as the Doors finish out their regular season series against the A's in the Eastern Division. Good evening, everybody. Carter Bainbridge along with Trey Redfield and our field reporter Logan Safarenko here at Veterans Field in Chatham, Massachusetts. And Trey, this season's coming to a close soon. As is their custom, the Doors aren't making things easy with regards to securing a playoff spot.
Yeah, it's really important. Each and every game gets more and more important as the season goes along, and it's very simple. We're coming down the stretch, and knowing that these are teams in the Eastern Division, the Commodores may be seeing them if they get to that point. The magic number is only going to diminish more and more for Falmouth if it keeps going on its own end. It's down to 3 right now, so it's really important for the Commodores to just focus on their own game, and that's tonight against the Anglers.
Well, that magic number is 3 combined points with some wins and Wareham Gateman losses with the point system in play in the Western Division. The Doors enter the day with a record of 17, 19, and 3, good for 4th place in the West, above the Wareham Gatemen, who trail by 6 points with a record of 12, 20, and 7. So all the playoff spots in the West decided except for the number 4 spot. Katuitt, Hyannis, and Bourne have already punched their tickets. And the Doors will try to get that much closer today with a win over the Anglers in an attempt to try to avoid a home-and-home sweep, with the A's winning just 2 days ago at Gov Fuller Field by a score of 6-1. So here's the Falmouth starting lineup. Opposing left-handed starter Caden Grice for the Anglers. Leading off, it's Alex Mooney, as usual, playing short today. Colby Halter at DH hitting second. Jay Sporfin in left hitting third. Andrew Pinckney cleans up and mans center field today. Peyton Stovall is the second baseman and number 5 hitter today for the Doors. Jacob Walsh hits 6th and plays first. Tafton Hensley, making his Commodores debut this summer, plays right and hits 7th after coming over from the College of the Canyons. Anthony McKenzie at third base hitting 8th, and Danny Neary, the catcher, hitting 9th. And Grice on the mound, for Chatham Trey, I should say, left-handed starter, a two-way player out of Clemson.
Yeah, and this is really funny because Caden Grice is making his first start since his high school days over in South Carolina. So Grice on the year, he's making his first start here on Cape Cod. He's had 3 appearances this season. The ERA is at a goose egg right now. He has 6 2/3 innings pitched, giving up 2 hits. He has not given up an earned run just yet, Carter, and he's struck out 9 guys. So this could be a tough matchup today for the Commodores, knowing that they bring a lot of lefties to the lineup. And yes, Grice is a southpaw.
So Grice, who has played in 36 of 39 Chatham games so far, not including today in the field, now mans the mound today for his first start on the summer, 4th appearance. Alex Mooney, standing in the right-handed batter's box, takes down low for ball 1. And that's how this one starts from Veterans Field. First pitch at 7:02 here in Chatham, Massachusetts, with a setting sun out in left field. Grice is 1-0 to Mooney as a check swing tapper back to the mound. Grice off to his right. The throw on to first is in time, gloved by Butcher off the dirt. Mooney protesting with first base umpire Ronaldo Cockro. But he doesn't win that fight, and there's one away here in the top of the first inning.
That swing was like what Willie Mays Hayes did in Major League, where he slightly tapped. He was like, oops, and had to run down the first base bag. That's exactly what Mooney had to do. And it's funny because Mays Hayes was a righty as well. But tough break for Mooney there, and now it comes up to Colby Halter. And this is where it starts to get interesting. The lefties are coming up to the plate.
Colby Halter DHing and hitting second today. Lefty-lefty matchup as Grice fires the first pitch in for a strike on the outer half. And it's 0-1. With 1 away and the base is empty. We're just underway here from Veterans Field between the Doors and the Chatham Anglers. Grice ready with the 0-1, fires to the plate, called strike, and it's 0-2 on Halter. The defense behind Grice to start things for Chatham. Outfield left to right, Chuck Ingram, Jake DeLeo, and Lyle Miller-Green. Infield around the horn after this 0-2. Bouncing well in front of the plate, 55-footer, and it's 1-2. Johnny Castagnozzi at third base. Marcus Brown at short. Rock Riggio, the man of the first game in this series when he hit 2 home runs 2 days ago, at second, and Will Butcher at first base. 1-2 to Halter's outside, 2-2. Jack Rubenstein does the catching for Chatham today. Battery mates with Grice. 2-2 the count on Halter. Base is empty. Top of the first. 1 away here at Veterans Field. 2-2 pitch on the way from Grice. Low and away from Halter, and it's 3-2.
This is something that Colby does really well. He can work his way back into counts by being the picky hitter that he is, the great eye that he has. And he's done just that here with a 3-2 count early in this one.
Grice ready, and the 3-2 pitch on the way to Halter. Swinging a lightly hit ground ball back to the mound again. Grice Fields goes over to first base and an underhand flip finishes off the second out here in the top of the first inning. Another 1-3 put out, and there's 2 down for the Doors with Jace Borfin now coming to the plate.
And Holzer had to swing at that. He really didn't have a choice. It was that or either get a backwards K to your name, and something like that, you know, load up a little too early there. It gets off the end of the bat. It's an easy fielding play for Grice, tossing it to where he normally plays for the Anglers at first base.
So 2 1-3 putouts so far in this top of the first inning, and here's Jace Borfin. First pitch to him is down low, 1-0. Borfin, left-handed hitting left fielder in the number 3 spot today for the Doors. We're still in the very early going here at Veterans Field, just minutes post first pitch. 1-0 to Borfin is outside again. Rubenstein juggles it behind the plate, and it's 2-0.
Yeah, the reason why he was juggling it was because he caught it, tried to go behind the back with it to be smooth and throw it right back to his battery mate. If he had completed that, that would have been sick.
2-0 pitch to Borfin, and check swing, called strike, even though Rubenstein couldn't hang on as it dribbled into foul ground on the right side and now retrieved by a Falmouth bat boy. The count's 2-1 on Borfin. Grice winds in the 2-1 to Borfin, swinging a tapper back of the plate again, and it's 2-2. Well, busy day here at Veterans Field. There's quite a crowd packing it in tonight on this Friday night matchup. The Doors and Anglers facing off for the 4th time and final time in this regular season. 2-2 delivery to Borfin. Swinging a tapper off the plate again, and it stays 2-2 on Jace. The Doors wearing their black road uniforms, the maroon numbers, white trim, gray pants with that single black stripe down the sides of the legs, maroon socks, and these Friday red jerseys for the Anglers with the camouflage hats, gray numbers on the back with white pants, pinstripes, customary of the Anglers' usual home uniforms.
Yep. Yeah, the Commodores will also be wearing their gray hats when they go out into the field tonight. So everyone doing their part in Red Shirt Friday for the final Red Shirt Friday this season.
2-2 pitch to Borfin again, swing and a miss. And a breaking ball, Borfin was out in front. And he represents the first strikeout of the day for Caden Grice. Starting his first game on the summer for the A's, but in the first inning, no problem. He sits down the Doors, 1-2-3. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left as we head on to the bottom of the first. DeLeo, Brown, and Riggio due up for the A's. When we come back, you're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network.
Welcome back to Veterans Field. The Falmouth Commodores will see Rock Riggio here in the bottom of the first inning. And Rock Riggio had himself a day at Gov Fuller Field on Wednesday. He hit 2 home runs, and he entered Wednesday with no home runs to his name this season with the Chatham Anglers. But Riggio is no stranger to hitting home runs. He set a school record at Thousand Oaks High School last year in 2021, where he hit 12 home runs. Rock Riggio hit 11 home runs with his freshman season at Oklahoma State, and he enters tonight with a 12-game hitting streak. So the Doors are really going to have to contain this guy if they want to succeed against the Chatham Anglers tonight. Guys?
Well, thank you, Logan. And if we know one thing coming into today's matchup, that much is true. The Doors are going to have to contain Rock Riggio better than they did 2 days ago when the Chatham second baseman finished with 2 home runs, his first 2 on the summer, and 5 driven in that 6-1 Chatham victory over Falmouth at Gov Fuller Field. And we're now here at Veterans Field playing the A's for the second time in 3 days. Riggio is the number 3 hitter today for Chatham, as left-handed starter Chase Jeter finishes off his warm-up here in the bottom of the first inning, set to face this Anglers lineup. Starting with center field Jake DeLeo, shortstop Marcus Brown is on deck. Rock Riggio playing second, hits third, is in the hole. Chuck Ingram in left, cleaning up today for Chatham. Lyle Miller Green playing right and hitting 5th. Will Butcher at first base hitting 6th. Cooper Ingle, the DH, hits 7th. Johnny Castagnozzi is playing 3rd and hitting 8th today. And Jack Rubenstein, the catcher, hits 9th. So Jeter, left-handed starter on the mound, Trey, has been very effective this summer for the Doors.
And he's been doing it on this day more than not. You know, he's a Friday starter, and this is the 4th time he's doing it this season. The other one came on a Thursday last week against the Hyannis Harborhawks, where he had himself a no decision. He's 0-1 on the year, but the record doesn't really tell you the entire story. He has 15 strikeouts this year and 21 2/3 innings pitched, giving up 21 hits. Something that Jeter brings a lot is the sinker, and he likes his slider a lot too. Jeter is a control pitcher, so we're going to see a lot of high 80s from him, hardly in the 90s. So it's really important for Jeter to be on his stuff today because he does not have the edge in velo going up against Caden Grice.
First pitch to Jake DeLeo is outside to the right-handed hitting center fielder for Chatham. Here in the bottom of the first inning at Veterans Field, the A's are getting their first cracks today at the plate against lefty Chase Jeter, on for start number 5 on the summer for the Doors. Swinging a foul by DeLeo on the 1-0 as it tails out of the play to the right side, and it's 1-1. Jeter entering the day with a 1.24 ERA in his first 7 appearances. 4 of them starts, 21 2/3, like Trey said. Only 4 walks over that span as well. 1-1 pitch to DeLeo. Swinging a liner foul back of the plate right off the netting. And it's 1-2 on the Chatham center fielder. Jeter, the lefty from West Hartford, Connecticut. Doesn't have to come too far to get up to the Cape.
Great town.
1-2. Swinging a foul left side again, this time over the Chatham dugout. Count stays 1-2 on DeLeo with Marcus Brown on deck. Left-handed hitting shortstop, and Rock Reggio will come up to bat in this inning. He's in the hole. 1-2 pitch on the way to DeLeo. Fastball on the outer half, it's 2-2. Well, Trey, you commented about Jeter's pitch mix. As a control pitcher, he throws the sinker more than he does the four-seam fastball. Mixes in a changeup and a slider as his 2 off-speed offerings, as he throws them about equal amount, equal frequency between the 2 of them. And occasionally the four-seam fastball, so something he uses a standard grip for. 2-2 to DeLeo, swinging a ground ball to second base. Stovall to his left. Routine on to first for out number 1 here at the bottom of the first inning.
Good stuff there from Jeter. You know, doing exactly what he wants to do, forcing the ground balls, making it some sort of work for the infield, right? But at the end of the day, if you're getting the outs, that's really all you can ask for. Knowing you're bringing a control pitcher up in Chase Jeter and a guy who wants to force those ground balls, it's really important for those Falmouth errors to stay down. The Commodores have 61 errors this season, the most on Cape Cod.
Marcus Brown now hitting. Jeter fires the first pitch to him. It's a swing and a foul back right over the Chatham press box, which we're sitting right next to, right at the base of it to the right. 0-1 the count now on Brown. One of Chatham's all-stars this summer.
That's right.
Represented the A's at Spillane Field. 0-1 to Brown, a little low and away. 1-1 to the shortstop, hitting .254 entering tonight. 6 doubles to Brown's credit as well, and he can steal a bag. So this is a guy Jeter would love to keep off base here in the opening inning with 1 down and the bases empty. 1-1 pitch, swinging another ground ball to second base, right to Stovall, who taps his glove and throws on to first, beating Brown with plenty of time. And there's 2 away here at the bottom of the first inning.
So like in the top half, you know, a couple of grounders going to one guy. Same thing here in the bottom half. Good stuff from Stovall, not having any issue with either a chopper or a simple ground ball that you would take in IO. So really important, like I said, this Commodore defense to stay strong, hold its ground, and keep the Anglers to a minimum. Last time we were here, the A's only scored 1 run, falling to the Doors 4-1 on June 21st.
Jeter staring down Rock Reggio now. First pitch to him is down low and away. 1-0 the count. Well, not much else to say about this second baseman that we haven't already. He was practically a one-man wrecking crew just 2 days ago at the Gov. 2 for 5 with 2 home runs and 5 driven in. 1-0 pitch to swing and a high pop-up to right field. Hensley going back to the wall and makes the catch for out number 3. Boy, that wind really took that one further than we expected off the bat. That's the way it's been going lately for Reggio, but no damage here in the first inning. He flies out to right to end things as the A's go down 1-2-3. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We head to the top of the second inning with Pinckney, Stovall, and Walsh. 4, 5, and 6 due up for Falmouth when we return. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network. Well, we're back here at Veterans Field, still in the early going with the Falmouth Commodores and Chatham Anglers locked up in a scoreless tie so far. Both squads went down 1-2-3 in the first inning, as left-handed starter Caden Grice needed just 13 pitches to retire the Doors on 2 groundouts and a strikeout. Now here's Andrew Pinckney as Grice fires the first offering to him in for a strike, and it's 0-1. Pinckney playing center and hitting cleanup today. Enters the day with a .233 average. 0-1 pitch, down low and in, 1-1. That mark for Pinckney doesn't tell the whole story, though. He scuffled through most of the month of June, but has been swinging a hot bat not only as of late, but against left-handed pitching as well. Swing by Pinckney and a foul ball. 1-2 the count. Pinckney this season against lefty pitching, 8 for his first 24 with a pair of home runs. So this is a key batter in this game that Caden Grice is going to have to battle his way through. Grice winds and the 1-2. Swinging a tapper back of the plate. The count stays 1-2. Pinckney digging in. Grice now sends the 1-2 to the plate. Breaking ball plunked Pinckney right on the front hip in the right-handed batter's box, and now he jogs on to first. The first base runner of the game for the Doors and the first hit batter of the game for Grice.
The second baseman from the University of Arkansas.
This now brings an opportunity for a ball to go in play. Pinckney's going to score from first base. I could put money on that.
On an extra base hit?
On an extra base hit, 100%. If Peyton Stovall sends it into the gap here, Pinckney is going to score.
First pitch to Stovall. A little low and away to the left-handed batting second baseman. It's 1-0. With Andrew Pinckney over at first base, who has yet to be caught on the base path stealing this summer. Pinckney is 9 for 9 in steals so far this season. Grice turns on the 1-0 pitch to Stovall's. Low again, 2-0. Jacob Walsh on deck, another lefty swinger. With Pinckney at first base, nobody out here, top of the second inning in a 0-0 tie. Grice, lazy throw over to first base. Very deliberate with it as Pinckney got back, and it stays 2-0 on Stovall, who taps the plate with that black bat and now wheels it around to the rear shoulder. Grice ready, the 2-0. Low and away again, 3-0. So nothing close to the strike zone so far to Peyton Stovall getting his first at bat today. Grice on the summer entering the night in his first 6 2/3 innings. Had walked only 3, struck out 9 and allowed 2 hits. 3-0 to Stovall's in for a strike, and it's 3-1. But most notably, Trey, in 3 relief outings for this southpaw, no earned runs.
That's key. I mean, that's what makes you get a chance. Even when you came to Cape Cod focusing on your hitting in Caden Grice.
From the stretch, Grice is 3-1. Low and away, he walks Stovall. On a 3-1 pitch, Peyton now takes first base, moving Pinckney to second here in the top of the second inning.
first baseman from the University
Jacob
of
Walsh
Oregon.
is now the hitter, but this an
Jacob Walsh.
easily avoidable jam by Grice. He's gotten himself into a bit of a mess here in the second inning.
I mean, you said it best, easily avoidable. I mean, this is all controlled by the pitcher. You had a hit by pitch. You walked a guy on a 3-1 count. And now you're bringing up a guy who's struggled against lefties. If this is a confidence booster right here, it could be the moment in this time right now with Grice facing a lefty and Walsh, who has an opportunity on his hand to make it a 1-0 ball game.
First pitch to Walsh is down low, 1-0 the count. With Pinckney at second base, Stovall at first base here in the top of the second inning. Nobody out still with left-hander Caden Grice struggling through some trouble here. Jacob Walsh at the plate, hitting in the number 6 spot today. He carries a 194 average in it today, but with some good pop. 5 home runs to Walsh's name this summer. 1-0 pitch had him waving out in front. 1-1 the count as Grice took plenty off. Walsh now leaves the left-handed batter's box to circle back in. 1-1 the count, Trey, and as you said, Walsh has struggled against lefty pitching this year. He is 2 for 36 against southpaws. 1-1 in the dirt, 2-1 the count.
And he's wearing the high socks, and that's something he did because he got himself a hit off of a lefty pitcher, and since then he's never turned back. So if Walsh can find some heroics like that one, Falmouth's in business.
2 on, no out. Here in the top of the second, Grice fires the 2-1 to Walsh. Strike on the outside corner, and it's 2-2. That strike called by Jeff Merzell, the home plate umpire. Mike Rabideau, the third base umpire today, and Ronaldo Cockrum over at first base in this umpiring crew. 2-2 pitch to Walsh, rather. In for strike 3 called. So the struggles continue for Walsh against left-handed pitching. Neither runner advances as Pinckney stays put at second and Stovall stays at first. 1 away here in the top of the second inning. And now here's Tafton Hensley making his Commodores debut this summer. He was only added to the roster earlier this week. Now wearing number 27 and batting in the right-handed batter's box. Grice looking back, Pinckney at second, now turns and deals. First pitch swinging for Hensley. Ground ball to shortstop. Brown to second base for 1. Riggio on to first for 2. 6-4-3 it goes. The double play ends the top of the second inning. First pitch swinging for Hensley, and that ends the threat. The Doors do not score. No hits, no errors, and 1 man left as we head on to the bottom of the second. Ingram, Miller, Green, and Butcher coming up to bat for Chatham. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network.
Sit up. You sit up. You sit up. You sit up.
Well, we're back to Veterans Field here in the bottom of the second inning. The Doors and Anglers still locked up in a 0-0 tie. Falmouth had 2 on with nobody out in the top of the second, but could not score. A strikeout and a double play ended the threat as Chuck Ingram, Lyle Miller Green, and Will Butcher are set to bat here in the bottom of the second inning. The Anglers still looking for their first base runner against left-handed starter Chase Jeter. Jeter looking in at Ingram, right-handed hitting left fielder. First pitch swinging as it's popped up to right field. Hensley racing in, and it drops in between Hensley and Stovall, who was going out from second base. Well, a soft flare to right. Couldn't be gloved by either Hensley or Stovall. Hit into no man's land, but you imagine Hensley making his debut. Maybe a little bit of communication lapse there between the two.
A little bit, yeah, and it's just trying to get used to everything. The wind and this Cape Cod in general. There is a lot to get used to in this league. People go through Cape slumps offensively and defensively, and it's just a matter, we'll just find out if Hensley's gonna have one of those in his time on Cape Cod.
Strike one on Lyle Miller Green. Now at the plate, playing right, hitting fifth today. Another right-handed bat against Jeter. With Ingram now over at first base, Miller Green at the plate. 0-1 to him as a swing and a ground ball to the left side, through the hole into left field, base hit. Ingram stops at second, but back-to-back hits for the Anglers open up things here in the bottom of the second inning.
Simply just putting in spots where players aren't right now are the Chatham Anglers. Whether it's in a no man's land spot like you mentioned, it's second and right field, or it's between the gap in a spot where Alex Mooney can't grab it because he's cheating towards second base, trying to draw that double play ball. So sometimes you miss. Sometimes you risk something and it just doesn't go your way. Mooney showing that right there, trying to turn the double play ball.
First pitch to Will Butcher, in for a strike on the outer half to the right-handed hitting first baseman. 0-1 the count. So runners now at first and second base. Ingram at second, Miller Green at first. So Ingram, who entered the evening with a 113 average, and Miller Green, who came in with a 143 mark. Single to start the second as Butcher swings on the 0-1 and sends a deep drive to center field. Pinkney out in center, heading to his left at the warning track, makes the catch. The throw back in as Ingram tags to third and makes it, fielded by Stovall. And it's the first out, a loud one here in the second inning, moving Ingram on to third base off the bat of Butcher.
And now this makes the double play ball ever so more important. And for the Anglers, it could turn to something on the base pass where you have a delayed steal. Denny Neary throws it to second. You cause a pickle at first and second, and you make the runner at third easily come in and score. All the possibilities are on the table, and it expands when runners are at the corners.
Cooper Engel now at the plate. Jeter turns and fires first pitch to him, and it gets away from Neary behind the plate. Here comes Ingram to score. Miller Green heads to second, and it's 1-0 Anglers here in the bottom of the second inning on a passed ball.
That's just a tough break. And now you have no force, only at first base. Crowd's starting to get into it a little bit too. It's just important to just get the out now.
So two singles, a fly out, and a passed ball here in the second inning have played in the first run of this game. It's 1-0 Anglers as Jeter looks in at Cooper Engel. Fires the second pitch to him, and it's 2-0, low and away. With one away, and Lyle Miller Green now at second base. Left-handed hitting Engel, DHing today, hitting seventh. Standing in against Jeter, who comes set and fires the 2-0. In for a strike, 2-1. You hear the crowd getting loud here at Veterans Field. They have really packed it in tonight on this Friday night matchup. And watching this red-hot Anglers team get off to another good start in this game.
7-3 in their last 10, not too shabby.
These A's have won 7 of 9, including a game 2 days ago against the Doors. As the 2-1 heads low, it's 3-1. One out here in the bottom of the second inning. Lyle Miller Green at second base. It's 1-0 Anglers. They've already plated a run in this inning and still going with Cooper Engel at the plate. The Cape Cod League leader in walks on the 3-1 takes a strike, and it's 3-2.
And that's the challenge pitch right there from Jeter, saying, I'm going to try and get back into the count. So I'm going to give you something that you can hit. If you don't like it, so what? He just proved it right there. Why not go in that spot again? Challenge him some more if you're Jeter.
Defense playing straight up. Now the payoff pitch to Engel. Tapper foul right side. And it stays 3-2. One out, bottom of the second. Miller Green at second base, who was the second batter of this inning, singled to left. And now stands in scoring position with left-handed starter Chase Jeter trying to get out of trouble for the Doors. Engel Engel entering the night, hitting .260. 3-2 pitch to Engel, breaking ball in there for strike 3 called. Well, Jeter came in and attacked on 3-2 and froze the Chatham DH for his first strikeout today, and a big one. That's the second out here in the bottom of the second inning with Miller Green still at second base.
In a situation like this where there's a guy on second, you know, someone in scoring position, whether you force a pop-up or you strike someone out, those are the best type of outs to get because the chances of a runner moving over, slim to none. I mean, the only time you're going to see someone do that is if they're going to try and steal for third, and then that's even more of a risk on the offensive side.
Johnny Castagnazzi now at the plate. First pitch from Jeter's in for a strike on the inside corner to the right-handed bat. It's 0-1. Well, the sun is finally set behind some clouds for the time being here at Veterans Field. We saw some sun on the field in the early going of this game, but none of the players right now in the sunlight. It's all shade here at Chatham. Castagnazzi at the plate as Jeter looks back at Miller Green and fires the 0-1. Strike 2 swinging from Castagnazzi. Jeter took something off and had the Chatham third baseman out in front. 0-2 the count.
That's something that he does. You got to rely on your stuff. Control pitchers can be great pitchers. Just comes down to how much command they have on the pitches that they throw. For Jeter, it's that sinker. It's that curveball. It's that slider. It's so important to use to his advantage.
Jeter now steps off as Miller Green walks his way back to second base. Castagnazzi was really crowding the plate, ready for that pitch. But he now steps back into the box and gets right up on the chalk in the right-handed batter's box. Home plate umpire Jeff Merzell still telling Jeter to wait for a minute. And now tells him to get ready to go. 0-2 the count, 2 outs, bottom of the second inning. Jeter's pitch, breaking ball, little low, 1-2. We saw some first steps come in from the Falmouth infield expecting a punch out, but no dice on the 0-2. And Castagnazzi stays alive.
Keep going at that spot. Maybe raise it up just a little bit. Was a little away that pitch too, but not a bad spot. If you're a catcher, you're saying, I like it. Go there again.
1-2 from Jeter. Swing and a miss. Castagnazzi down on strikes. Back-to-back punch-outs end things here in the bottom of the second inning as Chase Jeter wriggles out of a jam. Not before the Anglers played a run on 2 hits, no errors, and leave a man. We're headed to the top of the third inning with McKenzie, Neary, and Mooney, 8-9-1 for Falmouth due up. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network. We're back at Veterans Field, heading to the top of the third inning with the Chatham Anglers up 1-0 over the Falmouth Commodores, courtesy of a passed ball in the second inning from Falmouth catcher Danny Neary that plated Chuck Ingram from third base. Anthony McKenzie, switch hitting third baseman for Falmouth, now stands in against left-handed starter Caden Grice, who turns and delivers the first offering. 0-1 the count. Strike called on the outside corner to McKenzie, who enters the ninth hitting .212. This product from Sam Houston State's been playing a little more recently. We've seen Colby Halter man DH duties a couple times lately. 0-1 pitch down low and in, and it's 1-1.
And sometimes what that may mean is that the body's catching up to you. after a really long season, and it could be in Halter's case. Florida went to a regional, lost in Game 3. Now playing a long season there, where he's starting in almost every game. It happens.
1-1 pitch in front of the plate. 2-1 the count from Grice. Well, McKenzie's switch hitting right-handed right now against the left-hander Grice, and that's actually been his better side this season in limited action. 5 for his first 20 at the plate. 250 average with a double to his credit as he swings at the 2-1 and wraps it foul left side. 2-2 the count as the foul is gloved by third base coach Brett Becker.
Oh man, are they bringing that giant American flag down out there in the fire station? I hope they're not bringing it down entirely.
Surely they are now.
Oh man.
2-2 pitch to McKenzie, breaking ball inside. It's 3-2. We saw some festivities beforehand. Some celebration with the red jerseys today. Not just the color, but it's also the acronym. Remember everyone deployed. Swinging a tapper foul by McKenzie again. This time left side. And the count stays full. It's 3-2. So not only do you have the American flag fluttering in right field here at Veterans Field, but also the one in center. And then the fire department across the street set up that large one. 3-2 to McKenzie, swinging a bouncing ball to third base. Castagnazzi gloves and fires across the diamond to beat McKenzie by a step. 1 away here in the top of the third inning.
It's a good battle there by McKenzie. And sometimes it comes down to you just getting jammed, you being a millisecond behind. It's baseball, Susan. And for Grice right now, he's working well, whether it's a lefty, whether it's a righty. I mean, I would argue, honestly, that he's working better against right-handed hitters. Just the way he's jammed the 9 coming up.
Danny Neary at the plate takes strike 1 from the left-hander Grice. It's 0-1. With 1 away, top of the third, base is empty here at Veterans Field. The door's up to hit. 0-1 from Grice, breaking ball down low, 1-1. And this left-handed starter, Trey, is working awfully quickly.
He is. And sometimes that works in the way of pitchers. You know, you like what you're seeing, you like what you're rolling with, go fast. Why not?
1-1 to Neary, down low, and it's 2-1. So this two-way playing, not new to Grice. He did this at Clemson in his past sophomore spring this season. 2-1 pitch on the way to Neary. Fastball, ooh, just a little bit low, says home plate umpire Jeff Merzel, and it's 3-1.
Got a couple of gasps from the Chatham crowd, too.
Neary in the left-handed batter's box, lefty-lefty matchup as Grice turns and fires the 3-1. Same spot, same result, barely missing with a fastball, and Neary takes ball 4. Second walk of the day for Grice, and it comes with 1 out here in the top of the third. But the big development here is that it brings around the top of the Falmouth order, and how hot have they been lately? Starting with leadoff man Alex Mooney, who's 0 for 1 so far today, but now getting his second AB against Grice. First pitch to Mooney, swing and a miss, 0-1 the count. Alex aggressive in the count early on, as we've seen many times from him. He sits dead red on that first pitch and goes after it. With Neary at first base, top of the third with 1 away here at Veterans Field. Grice is 0-1 to Mooney's. Another swing and a miss and a breaking ball down and in. Well, big cut by Mooney. Didn't get the heater he was looking for, and it's 0-2. Neary over at first base. Not a base stealer at all. The number 9 hitter and catcher has yet to even try a steal attempt this summer. Grice looking him over. Now the stretch in the 0-2. Down low with a breaking ball, 1-2. So Grice this spring with Clemson, as we were getting to, pitched in 7 games for the Tigers, played far more often in the field, and that's been the case this summer with Chatham. 36 games in the field, 3 on the mound. So he's played in every contest so far for the A's. 58 starts in the field in both the outfield and at first base for Clemson this spring. And then 6 innings on the mound, had a 3.00 ERA, 2 earned in 6 innings. 1-2 pitch to Mooney's a swing and a rope to center field, but DeLeo comes into his left and makes the catch, spinning around for out number 2 as Neary retreats back to first base. And there's the second out here in the top of the third inning.
Mooney put it in somewhat of a good spot, you know, and DeLeo got a great jump on that ball, too. He was shading a little bit towards the right of the second base bag and had to sprint to his left side, and he made the grab. I thought he overran it just a little bit. He had to slow down, kind of like a brake check to make that catch. But either way, great stuff from DeLeo. Now brings up Colby.
Here's Colby Halter, left-handed batting DH, hitting second tonight with Danny Neary at first base and 2 away here in the top of the third. Grice's first pitch to Halter is bunted foul left side, and it's 0-1.
Seen him do that a lot recently. Something that a guy in the 2 spot used to normally do back in the old days. You know, you put a guy in the second in the order, you want him to bunt your way on, but never in the case with 2 outs. So I'm a little surprised by it too.
For Halter, who's hitting .429 over his past 5 games and 0 for 1 today, showing bunt first pitch and meaning it. Grice is 0-1. Strike called, outer half, and it's 0-2. 2 outs and Danny Neary at first base here in the top of the third inning at Veterans Field. The Doors trail 1-0 against the Anglers and are still looking for their first hit in this game. The Anglers have a run on 2 hits. The Doors have zeros all across the board against left-handed starter Caden Grice. 0-2 pitch to Halter. Breaking ball swinging a foul back. Defensive late hack by Colby, but he got a piece and stays alive. Halter now stands outside the batter's box, takes a couple practice swings, and now readjusts those gloves. You can always spot him in a crowd thanks to those blue shoes. Yeah. Those Florida Gator blue sneakers. The high maroon socks. Trey, you've talked a lot about this season, how he looks like kind of a throwback player, and he plays like one too. 0-2 again to Halter's, a swing and a high pop back of the plate over our heads, and it plunks down well in foul ground, chased off by a whole schoolyard full of kids, and the count stays 0-2.
I'm telling you, we're going to catch one today. I said it on the way over with you and our web reporter, Tommy Mumau. Said it in shotgun. Carter, we're catching a foul ball today.
I would love to try if the chance came.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm not about to fight a kid, though.
No, no.
0-2 to Halter, swing and a miss, and that ends the top of the third inning. How about this start from Caden Grice? 3 no-hit innings so far against the Commodores, who again go down quietly. This time a walk in the third inning, but no runs, no hits, no errors, and a man left. We head on to the bottom of the third with Rubenstein, DeLeo, and Brown. 9-1-2 in the Chatham lineup coming to bat. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network. Well, it's been all quiet on the Falmouth front here in Veterans Field in a 1-0 game. The Anglers lead the Doors. No hits so far for the visiting Commodores against left-handed starter Caden Grice, who just polished off inning number 3. And now it's Chase Jeter back on the mound for his third inning, battling with 9-1-2 in the Chatham order. Jack Rubenstein, Jake DeLeo, and Marcus Brown. With the sun all but set here in Chatham, in our second and perhaps final trip to Veterans Field. You never know in the playoffs if the Doors make it. First pitch to Rubenstein's inside for ball 1, 1-0.
And if the Anglers make it too.
Exactly. Chatham entering the day in 5th place. The Doors in 4th place in the West, but trying to cling on to a lead against Wareham. 1-0 to Rubenstein, swinging a liner to left field underneath the glove of a diving Mooney, who tried to his right and couldn't make a play. It's a base hit for Rubenstein to start things. Sharply hit off the bat by the Chatham catcher. Nothing Mooney could do at shortstop, and here's Jake DeLeo. The center fielder hitting leadoff today for Chatham. He's 0 for 1. Grounded out to second base to start things in the bottom of the first. Jeter stretch. First pitch to DeLeo, who bunts it in the air, foul ground left side, and it plops down. No play for anybody, and it's 0-1. Well, we heard that over this hot stretch for Chatham, the 7 wins in their last 9 games, that they have been sacrificing a fair bit.
Yeah.
Stealing bases and laying down bunts.
Taking a page right out of Jeff Trundy's playbook. You know, playbooks in baseball, but we'll roll with it.
0-1 to DeLeo, breaking ball in for a strike, 0-2. Well, that slider for Jeter has been called for a couple different strikes today, this time on the Chatham center fielder. With Rubenstein still over at first base, and DeLeo at the plate. Jeter goes into his stretch and the 0-2. Breaking ball low and inside to the right-handed hitter, and it's 1-2. Well, Rubenstein has not tried even one steal this summer. So you figure Chatham would have liked to have moved him over, but now with 2 strikes, DeLeo doesn't have much choice. He'll be swinging away with nobody down. 1-2 deliveries inside again, making DeLeo flinch as it went by, and it's 2-2.
It's always important, you know, when you're ahead 0-2, it's like there's no excuses. You got to finish the guys somehow in some way. The last thing you want to do is work a count full after being ahead 0-2.
2-2 pitch from Jeter. In there for strike 3 called. Another looking punch out. This time he gets DeLeo. Third K on the day for Jeter, and that brings up Marcus Brown with Rubenstein at first and 1 away here in the bottom of the 3rd.
And that's Jeter's 3rd strikeout in his last 4 batters faced. So Jeter working in a little bit of a groove right now. Let's find out what he does against Marcus Brown.
Left-handed hitting shortstop now digs in. Jeter out of the stretch, first pitch, swing and a foul ball back in the plate right off the top of the netting, and it's 0-1. Well, Jeter up to 37 pitches so far. Got a couple ground outs back in the first inning. But since then has had a couple base hits against him, and like you said, has punched out 3 of the last 4. 0-1 to Brown. Swinging a tapper off the plate. Neareye didn't get a glove on it, and Brown a little bit frustrated with himself that he tapped that one. Possibly cost Rubenstein a trip to second base.
Yeah, I mean, it was a check swing, too. That's always one of the most frustrating things, when you check your swing and the ball finds a way to make contact with the bat. That's just, it's tough because you're down a little bit more.
0-2 pitch to Brown, swinging a ground ball to the right side. Stovall diving play to his left from second, throws on to first for out number 2. Oh, what a play for Peyton Stovall. The Arkansas Razorbacks show it out in front of this Chatham crowd to put the second out in the books here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Marcus Brown robbed of that play.
Such a great play by Peyton Stovall. And what makes it even more surprising, this guy only played second base twice at Arkansas this season. He was mainly the Razorbacks' first baseman, but with the Commodores, he's been at second base almost every single game that he's been here. And he makes it look so easy. Honestly, I think he's a better second baseman than first because he has the size to play second base.
Rock Riggio now at the plate. First pitch swinging, he grounds it to first base. Walsh has it and takes it to the bag himself, trotting over to tap it for out number 3 here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. So Chase Jeter gives up a leadoff single and nothing more. As we head on to the top of the 4th inning, 1 hit, no runs, no errors, and a man left by the Anglers. Borfin, Pinckney, and Stovall, the heart of the Falmouth order, coming up when we return. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network. Well, we're on to the 4th inning here at Veterans Field. The Falmouth Commodores trail the Chatham Anglers 1-0. And so far have been stifled on the offensive end. No hits and no runs so far against left-handed starter Caden Grice. As Jace Borfin stands in, lefty-lefty matchup, swings and a ground ball foul right side on the first pitch, 0-1. So Borfin, Pinckney, and Stovall, 3, 4, and 5 for Falmouth due up here in the top of the 4th inning. As Grice winds and deals the 1-0 and plugs Borfin right in the back. Practically hit him right in that top hole in the number 9 on the back of his jersey. And it's the second hit batter of the day for Grice.
Turned out to be one of those pitchers that's a little wild, and then you're surprised that you throw a strike, and you end up getting jammed by them. Those are the most frustrating types of pitchers because you have no idea what is coming.
So Borfin now stands at first base, and Andrew Pinckney taps the plate with the bat, standing into the righty box, getting ready to take his rips against Grice for the second time today. First pitch to Pinckney, swinging a soft liner to shortstop. Brown taps second base himself. The throw to first, in time, a double play. 6-3 it goes, courtesy of Chatham's sure-handed shortstop. Brown entering the day in over 290 innings, no errors to his credit, and you see why. Defense took him into the All-Star game, and he makes a fine play for a twin killing here in the 4th inning.
That's the case in point of using your glove to get into the lineup. Marcus Brown is Exhibit A.
Peyton Stovall now at the plate, takes outside, ball 1, 1-0. Well, the Doors so far today have hit into 2 double plays, one off the bat of Tafton Hensley and now Pinckney the other. 1-0 pitch to Stovall is a swing and a ground ball foul back of the plate, right off that brick facade, and it's 1-1.
And the thing with those double plays, Carter, both of them came on the first pitch, and both guys were jammed to the shortstop, Marcus Brown.
1-1 pitch from Grice. Down low and away to the left-handed hitting Stovall, 2-1. Well, the other thing it does, if you're the Doors and you are concerned, no hits still to this point, it keeps the pitch count low for Grice. 2-1 pitch to Stovall. Swinging a ground ball into center field, a base hit past the diving Riggio at second base. Fielded by DeLeo as Stovall puts the brakes on at first, and it's a 2-out hit here in the top of the 4th inning. The Doors finally break that dam against Caden Grice, so no hitter over, and Falmouth extends the inning now hoping for its first run.
You're smart, you know that? Announcer jinx right there, in the best way possible. We'll take that all day.
Tip your hat to Grice, 3 2/3 no-hit innings to start this game as Jacob Walsh takes ball 1 down and in, 1-0. Stovall at first base rather, not much of a running threat. Walsh today 0 for 1, strikeout victim back in the 2nd inning. 1 of 3 Ks for Grice so far today as he dabs his brow with his jersey sleeve and adjusts the camouflage hat on his head. Now puts the ball in glove. Looking Stovall over, now comes to the plate. The 1-0 called strike on the outer corner. It's 1-1. So Peyton Stovall, a solid line drive to center field for the first Doors hit of the day. Pitch count now up to 60 for Caden Grice as a throw goes over to first base. Very slow and deliberate. And Stovall's back. Count still 1-1 on Walsh at the plate. Stovall on the summer just 1 for 2 in steal tries. You figure with 2 down, he's not going to be trying anything here. 1-0 game. The Anglers lead the Doors here at Veterans Field. 2 down. Stovall at first as Walsh swings at the 1-1 and growls it off the plate. 1-2. A runner at first, 2 down, and Walsh trying to get another rare base hit against a lefty. He's in the number 6 spot today and is now responsible for keeping this would-be rally going. Defense playing him straight up all around the diamond. DeLeo a shade to his right in center field. 1-2 to Walsh, swing and a miss. Grice just blew it right by him on the outer half. Another punch out in this game. That's number 4 for Chatham's left-handed starter, and he's through 4 innings in this game. No runs on only 1 hit so far for the Doors as we head on to the bottom of the 4th inning. Ingram, Miller, Green, and Butcher 4, 5, and 6 for Chatham due up when we come back. Trey Redfield will have play-by-play for the next 2.5. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network.
Welcome back to Veterans Field. The Commodores trailing the Anglers by a score of 1-0 heading into the bottom of the 4th inning. With Carter Bainbridge, I'm Trey Redfield. Chase Jeter on the mound for his 4th inning of work, taking on Chuck Ingram. First pitch to the right-handed hitter misses low and outside for ball 1. Jeter has given up just 3 hits so far. The earned run came in the 2nd. Working quickly, here's the 1-0. Outside again, ball 2. Jeter is 0-1 on the season. An ERA of just 1.24. He's kept the earned runs down this season as the 2-0 comes in. Swing and a miss with that sinker at 85 miles an hour. It's 2-1 on Ingram, who started things off in that bottom half of the 2nd inning with a single. Jeter to southpaw working from the windup. Kicks and fires. Swinging a tip in and out of the glove of Nerai. It's now 2-2 on Ingram.
And when you're a control pitcher like Jeter, who tops out in the high 80s, you don't have to throw that hard. You just have to mix up speeds between your primary fastball and your off-speed stuff. His changeup's about 10 miles an hour slower.
2-2 pitch misses just a little bit low at the knees. The count is full on Ingram, who's hitting 113 this season with Chatham. The Anglers with 33 points on the season in 5th place in the East as the payoff pitch comes in. Swinging a pop-up, right side, tailing foul and out of play, and that's exactly where it goes. Towards the right of the Falmouth bullpen. A couple of kids chasing after it. We'll do the 3-2 again. So the Anglers 1 point behind the Orleans Firebirds with 33 points in the Eastern Division. In the West, the Anglers have 37 in 4th place. Magic number is at 3 for Falmouth to clinch. 3-2 pitch. Swinging a line drive, right side, foul and out of play.
Ingram's had a rough go of it this summer for Chatham since coming over from Wichita State, where he was quite a player. First team All-American Conference, but this just his 8th hit today. That single in the 2nd inning and now 27 games.
Jeter kicks and fires another swing, this one fouling back to the screen directly behind home plate. This is starting to become a battle, Carter, between Jeter and Ingram.
And sometimes when you're struggling as a hitter, it may just take one hit, one good plate appearance, and all of a sudden you got your confidence back and you feel good.
Let's find out what Jeter goes with here. Payoff pitch yet again, another swing and another foul back. Who wants it more? No runs, 1 hit, no errors for Falmouth. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors for Chatham. Jeter awaits his sign from his battery mate Danny Nerai. Comes set from the windup and deals. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Jeter wins this one. That's Chase's 4th strikeout on the evening. 1 gone here in the bottom of the 4th. Doors trailing the A's by 1.
But so far, Chase Jeter's been in pretty good command of this game. He does have a run to his credit, a couple singles in the 2nd and a passed ball plated it. But he's won a couple battles between hitters when he's challenged them. And Ingram at the plate, not a guy who walks a lot, and you know Jeter doesn't walk a lot of guys.
First pitch to Lyle Miller Green, inside, ball one. Jeter going with the curveball at 77 miles an hour. Miller Green won the home run hitting contest on July 23rd in Wareham. Hit 24 home runs in 2 rounds as the 1-0 comes in, misses inside. That one at 86 miles an hour from the left hand of Jeter. It's 2-0. Payne Stovall shading towards the second base bag. There's an open hole on the left side. Alex Mooney playing well over to his right at shortstop. The 2-0 from Jeter. Little low, ball 3. Jeter is 1 pitch away from giving up his first walk tonight.
Now, that home run derby result might have surprised some people around the league because of who he was contending with.
3-0 pitch. Too low, ball 4. So Miller Green is aboard for the second time tonight. He had a single in the second. Has a 4-pitch base on balls here in the 4th. You were saying, though?
Well, just to finish that thought on Miller Green, he has a lot of power, untapped power that you see scouts talk about. They say that he has 70 grade power, which is well above average, maybe all-star level. You talk about it on that 20 to 80 scale, and he also walks a lot. That's number 11 in just 35 at-bats coming into the night, so he draws a lot of free passes.
First pitch to Will Butcher. Swinging a fly ball to right field. Hensley under it near the warning track, coming in a couple of steps and making the grab head high for the second out. Going back to first is Miller Green. There's now 2 gone here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Falmouth trailing Chatham 1-0 here at Veterans Field on a beautiful night. Pink skies out towards right center field where people are set up on the berm here in Chatham. One of the most beautiful sights in the Cape Cod Baseball League is right here, just a little bit behind home plate. Jeter's first pitch to Cooper Ingalls is swinging another fly ball to right field. Hensley coming in a little bit and making the grab to close out the 4th. So a couple of flyouts to Tafton Hensley. Closes out the 4th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 man left on base. We go to the top of the 5th inning where Falmouth trails Chatham by a score of 1-0. Hensley, McKenzie, and Neerai do upper the doors when we come back. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Commodores Radio Network. Welcome back to Veterans Field as we are into the top of the 5th inning. The Commodores trailing the Anglers by a score of 1-0. BJ Labriola is on the mound for the Anglers. His first pitch to Tafton Hensley is a bunt to the left side. It gets down. Picked up by Labriola, spinning to his left side, throwing the first. He got him. Well, 1 pitch, 1 out for another Clemson Tiger on the mound. This one from Bradenton, Florida. There's 1 gone here in the 5th.
A close play, but I do think the right call. Hensley, we've seen a couple Falmouth players try the bunt tonight, either showing it or putting it down. It was a good attempt, especially against a pretty lanky left-hander. 6'6" is Labriola. Hensley tried to flash the speed, but just got beaten by about half a step.
This is Labriola's first appearance with the A's. His first pitch to the switch hitting. Anthony McKenzie's outside for ball 1. McKenzie is 0 for 1 today with a ground out to third base on a full count that came in the third inning. Lefty on righty matchup, pitcher the batter, 1-0. Just a bit outside. 2-0 now on McKenzie. Sam Houston State Bearcat, who dealt with a labrum injury this season where he played mostly as a designated hitter. McKenzie back in the right-handed batter's box. 2-0 pitch. Outside, ball 3. The infield straight up, moving a little bit to his right is Marcus Brown, the shortstop. The outfield straight up, playing at a normal depth as the 3-0 comes in. Low and outside, ball 4. A 4-pitch walk for Anthony McKenzie. There's 1 on with 1 gone here in the top of the 5th inning. Falmouth trailing Chatham by 1. So with Labriola on the mound, it means Caden Grice's night is done. He has 4 innings pitched, gave up 1 hit, no earned runs, 2 walks, and striking out 4. So in Grice's first start since high school, that's not too shabby. Now brings up Danny Neary. Lefty on lefty matchup, McKenzie on first base. First pitch from Labriola. Right down Broadway, strike 1, just a little bit below the belt of Neary. So it's 0-1 on Danny, who walked on a 3-1 count in the third. Comes from Notre Dame, where he went 1 for 2 in Game 2 of the Super Regional against Tennessee. The 0-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
Not only was Grice effective, but he's facing a door squad that has had its problems with left-handed pitching. We've talked a lot about this season. Just a 187 mark as a team in 23 games against Southpaws.
0-2 pitch, swinging a bouncer on the right side, foul by just a couple of feet. So we'll do the 0-2 again for Neary. Comes from McLenny, Florida, and I got a chance to talk to his dad the last time these two played, which was on Wednesday. Really good guy to talk to. Loved how Neary was at Notre Dame. He's talking about the education, which was funny because I asked Neary why Notre Dame, and he told me, well, I want to get a degree from one of the best colleges in the country. And rightfully so.
Well, he picked wisely in that case.
Yes, he did. 0-2 pitch, not happening just yet. Pickoff move over to first. McKenzie gets back in safely without a tag. So the count 0-2 on Neary. Labriola working from the stretch. Gets his sign from his battery mate, Rubenstein. Another throw over to first, not in time. McKenzie getting back in safely with a dive yet again, reaching with his right hand. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for Falmouth. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors for Chatham. McKenzie on first, 0-2, 1 gone. The pitch, high and tight, in and out of the glove of Rubenstein, but he quickly picks it up behind the left-handed batter's box. So it's now 1-2 on Danny. Neary did not play in the first matchup of this home-and-home series that we've had. It was Josiah Cromwick behind the plate for the Commodores. It was a 6-0 loss. 1-2 pitch is cut on and miss for strike 3, high and tight. There's 2 gone here in the 5th. Commodores trailing the Anglers 1-0.
Well, the Doors have to start capitalizing on some of these opportunities. The Chatham Anglers are in last place in the East because they're tight defensively or because they're solid in pitching, because the Anglers do give up their walks. Only Katuitt has walked more this summer. The Doors have already drawn 3 today, including 2 hit batters as well.
Lefty on righty dual, pitcher to batter. Here's Alex Mooney. First pitch to him, high and outside. Ball 1 at 89 miles an hour. Mooney today still looking for his first hit. He's 0 for 2 with a swing ground ball back to the pitcher, which was Caden Grice at the time in the first inning. And he flew out to center field in the third. 1-0. Swinging a drive, high and deep to left field, and foul. Out of play it goes, so it's 1-1. That looks good off the bat, but it just tailed foul. Mooney has that power. He brings it to the table. His 3 home runs this season. He has yet to grab a road home run this year. All of his dingers have come for the Commodores at home. Another pickoff move over to first. McKenzie getting in safely without a dive this time, just putting his right foot on the first base bag. He's the only man on for Falmouth. 2 gone here in the top of the 5th inning. 1-1 the count on Mooney. Labriola, the pitcher, kicks and fires. Swinging a line drive into left center field. Will it get down? Yes, it will. Diving to his right is DeLeo. He couldn't grab it. The hit and run is successful for the Commodores. McKenzie going over to third. So it's a base hit for Falmouth. Alex Mooney's first on the evening. And there are runners at the corners with 2 gone here in the top of the 5th inning. Colby Halter coming up to the plate. Carter, I'd argue this is the right guy to step up right now.
Well, we figured Alex Mooney was a good guy to send up to the plate with his .351 average against left-handed pitching this season, and he came through with a base hit. Anthony McKenzie's not a big-time runner on the base paths, but the Doors trying to get a run here any way they can, just put the game in motion, and it worked out. Now you have a big chance with a guy who has been scorching the ball as of late. Entering the evening, Halter with a .450 average over his previous 5 games.
He has 7 home runs this season, Colby Halter. That's tied for the most on Cape Cod. Runners at the corners, lefty on lefty matchup. First pitch to Colby. Swinging a pop-up. Left side foul and out of play over to our left. We're set up at home plate 7 o'clock here at Veterans Field. It's 0-1 on Halter. He was 0 for 2 today with the ground ball back to the pitcher in the first. And down swinging on 3 pitches in the third. McKenzie on third, Mooney on first. Labriola the pitcher, Halter the batter. 1-0 your score. Doors trailing the A's here in the top of the 5th. 2 gone. 0-1. Mooney goes inside. No, it hit him. Colby Halter gets hit by a pitch. So now the bases are loaded with 2 outs, and it brings up Jace Borfin. The Commodores with an opportunity to blow this thing up.
The left fielder, number 9.
Well, like we said, this Anglers pitching staff will walk guys, and they do hit a fair number. And they've presented the Doors with a golden opportunity on a platter here in the 5th inning, with perhaps their hottest hitter now up to the plate. Jace Borfin hitting .370 over his last 10 games.
What can the Arkansas Razorback do here? McKenzie on third, Mooney on second, Halter on first. First pitch to Jace. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Labriola in for his first inning of work, taking over for Caden Grice, who had 4 innings pitched, striking out 4 and giving up 0 earned runs. From one Clemson Tiger to another.
And what Rubenstein may be saying here on this mound visit is just telling this left-hander to trust his stuff. He's clearly got it with that 6'6" frame. And against a left-handed hitter in Borfin, this is the guy you want to deal with right now. You don't want to let Borfin reach and bring Andrew Pinckney up to the plate. Not against a left-handed pitcher.
Labriola 16 pitches in, trying to get out of a bases-loaded jam with 2 outs here in the 5th. Commodores trailing 1-0 to the Anglers. 0-1 to Borfin. Swinging a ground ball up the middle at second base. Riggio has it, bumbles it, throw over to first in time for the 3rd out. So the Commodores load him up, but can't get anything on the board. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 3 men left on base for Falmouth. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning, where Chatham will bring up Castagnazzi, Rubenstein, and the top of the order with DeLeo. 1-0 your score, Falmouth trailing Chatham. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Commodores Radio Network.
Stereophonic sound for the home is recorded on 2 separate tracks, each one giving special emphasis to certain sections of the orchestra, as heard from those positions. Now, when played back simultaneously on two separate systems, the sounds are blended together to achieve a new dimension in sound impossible to obtain in a monaural recording.
Welcome back to Veterans Field. The Commodores behind the Chatham Anglers by a score of 1-0. Along with Carter Bainbridge, I'm Trey Redfield. So happy you're with us tonight for the Doors and A's, the final matchup of the regular season between these two. We saw Chase Jeter get taken out on late notice, dealing with some sort of injury. Jeff Trundy was over there with pitching coach Mike Landry. The battery of Jeter and Danny Neary was close to the first base line, talking things over. Not entirely sure what was wrong with Jeter, and not going to assume, but gets taken out for Caleb Corbett, right-handed pitcher out of Louisville. And Carter, he's been showing some pretty good stuff recently. Has to show it here against the Anglers. You never know when these bats are going to get hot for Chatham.
Well, that's exactly right. And just going back to Jeter leaving this game, I mean, that's tough for the Commodores any way you slice it. Even if it was just for a precaution and there's nothing wrong with him, you hate to see that for a guy who not only is such a joy to talk to, but has been so effective on the mound, not only today, but this whole season. So his day is done. 4 innings of 3 hit ball, 1 run, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. And that's now turned over to a Falmouth bullpen that has had its struggles lately. Let's be honest. Against the Harwich Mariners a couple days ago, it was that 5th and 6th and 7th inning outburst by the Mariners that kind of got that game out of hand. Caleb Corbett, as you said, just to round out this point that you tossed to, 10 games so far this season, a 12.27 ERA. Not exactly a gleaming mark, but in his past 2 appearances, no hits, no runs in 2 2/3 innings combined. So for this University of Louisville product, things have been going better lately on the mound. He just now has to contend with a pretty hot Chatham lineup.
The Anglers are 7-3 in their last 10. We were here in June, and we were thinking there's just no way that the Anglers are going to make the playoffs, right? Boy, were we wrong. The Anglers are just behind the Orleans Firebirds in the Eastern Division with 33 points, sitting in 5th place. So a win for Chatham tonight and an Orleans loss. Next thing you know, the A's are in the playoffs for the first time this season. Had the season ended today, obviously. The Commodores with some work to do on their own end, obviously trailing 1-0 right now here in the bottom of the 5th inning at Veterans Field in Chatham. But they got to win a couple of games, and the Gatemen got to get a couple of losses if the Commodores want to clinch their playoff spot sooner rather than later.
Yeah, it's no sure thing, especially with Wareham tied at 5 out at Spillane Field with the Brewster Whitecaps in the bottom of the 7th inning in that game. So those 2 teams tied just 2 days ago. And now if that score holds, they'll do it again. Meanwhile, as far as the Anglers are concerned, sorry, Trey, the Orleans Firebirds are tied 1-1 with YD in the bottom of the 6th right now.
How about that? The Armageddon Red Sox are like the outlier in the Eastern Division. They have 45 points ahead of the Brewster Whitecaps with 37. I mean, the Red Sox were the lock to win that Eastern Division. As Caleb Corbett still warming up, it was kind of a late change. You know, Jeter was dealing with some sort of injury and was being talked about it with Mike Landry, the pitching coach for Falmouth, and Falmouth manager Jeff Trundy, along with Danny Neary, the Commodores catcher. Landry went with the decision to go get Corbett out of the bullpen over in right field. And now it's time for Caleb Corbett. He's taking on Johnny Castagnazzi, who is 0 for 1 today with a strikeout on a 1-2 count in the 2nd inning. Castagnazzi's at 3rd base tonight for the Anglers, who steps into the right-handed batter's box. So a righty-on-righty duel, pitcher to batter. First pitch from Corbett. Fastball in the inner half, misses just a little bit on the inside for ball 1. A Beautiful night here at Veterans Field. Clouds over on the left side covering in what is, a pink and yellow sky. As the 1-0 gets away from Neri. No harm, no foul, though. There's nobody on base. 2-0, the count on Castagnazzi. Nobody on in this young bottom half of the 5th inning. 1-0 your score. Falmouth trailing Chatham. Corbett from the windup with the 2-0. Inside again. This one coming in at 93 miles an hour. Corbett just a little bit upset with himself on that one, just asking home plate umpire Jeff Merzell where it missed. Finds out it was a little bit inside. So it's now 3-0 on Castagnazzi. Corbett kicks and fires. Misses low for ball 4. A leadoff 4-pitch walk for Johnny Castagnazzi. And it now brings up Jack Rubenstein, the catcher out of Georgia Tech, who is 1 for 1 today.
Jack Rubenstein.
And you just hope for Corbett that those warm-up pitches that he got were enough. Because you see an unusual situation when a guy comes in for an injured pitcher, he usually gets a good amount of time to warm up as he pleases. But Caleb Corbett, with a walk to the first hitter, certainly not a good sign to start his outing today.
First pitch to Rubenstein. He shows bunt, pulls it back. Shouldn't have because it was right down Broadway for strike 1. So Castagnazzi leads off first base. Not too many hits in this one so far, just 5 combined between Falmouth and Chatham. 0-1. Rubenstein shows bunt again. He fouls it off. It's now 0-2.
Well, not a lot of base hits to go around today so far, and you understand the choice by Tom Holliday over in the Chatham dugout to try to play a little small ball here. Rubenstein in the number 9 spot. If he gets this bunt down, would then bring around the top of the order. DeLeo, Brown, and Riggio have done a lot of damage lately.
Rubenstein coming into tonight, sitting 231 for the A's. Pickoff move over to first, not in time. Walsh applied the tag, but getting in safely was Castagnazzi over there at first base, who got aboard with a 4-pitch leadoff walk. 1 on, no one gone, bottom 5, Doris trailing by 1. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Corbett going with the slider and grabs his first strikeout on the evening. There's 1 gone here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Chatham 1, Falmouth nothing.
A big first out for Corbett, like you said, utilizing that slider, his primary breaking pitch. And getting Rubenstein, a guy who's only been in Chatham for not a lot of time, only 26 at-bats coming into tonight.
Now brings up the leadoff man, Jake DeLeo. Righty on righty duel. Corbett from the stretch. Swinging a pop-up right side, foul and out of play. Over the first base grandstand and the snack shack behind the Falmouth dugout, which is over at first base. So it's 0-1 on DeLeo, who's still looking for his first hit tonight. Grounded out to second in the first and went down looking on a 2-2 count in the third. 0-1 pitch is a swing and a line drive fair down the right field line. Hensley coming in to charge and pick it up. Rounding person going for second on a dive is DeLeo. He has himself a double. Going over to third is Castagnazzi. That's the first extra base hit tonight for either team. A 1-out, 5th inning double from Jake DeLeo has an opportunity for the Anglers to tack on some more with Marcus Brown coming up to the plate with 2 on and 1 gone.
Well, it's not the hardest double you'll ever see off the bat of the Chatham center fielder. He just kind of thrusted the bat out and poked it down the right field line, but it was enough to give him 2 bases, and the beat just continues here for DeLeo at Veterans Field. We heard before the game that his splits were pretty extreme, home versus road, and they were right. DeLeo entering the evening a 340 hitter at home, 190 on the road. So 150 points better in this building, and hits like that have been why.
First pitch to Marcus Brown, swing and a miss, strike 1. So the infield, who was playing straight up to DeLeo, all of them are now in at the top of the grass. It's McKenzie, Mooney, Stovall, and Walsh around the horn from third to first base. Corbett working from the stretch, gets his sign from Neri. 0-1 the Brown. Swinging a line drive, left side foul and out of play. It's now 0-2 on the shortstop out of Oklahoma State, who's had one of the best gloves on Cape Cod this season. Comes from a Cowboys squad in Stillwater, Oklahoma, a team that lost to Arkansas in the Stillwater Regional this year. Castagnazzi on third, DeLeo on second. 0-2 pitch from Corbett. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 3 strikes, 3 pitches. Easy as that. Corbett has his second strikeout on the evening. 2 gone here in the bottom of the 5th inning with 2 on. 1-0 your score. Falmouth trailing Chatham.
Even though we're in the middle part of this game, the last couple at bats in this one, Brown and now this one to Riggio, feel like they're going to go a long way in deciding who wins this ball game. Certainly a lot of baseball left to be played, but for Corbett to get Brown with Riggio on deck and the Doors struggling at the plate the last couple games all of a sudden, Corbett's going to have to challenge this hitter who rolled into the day on a 12-game hitting streak.
The infield moving back to a straight-up set, a normal routine for the infield as the first pitch to Riggio misses outside for ball 1. The infield was in, but since Corbett got that strikeout, they moved back with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning and 2 on. Riggio ahead 1-0 on Corbett, with DeLeo on second and Castagnazzi on third. 1-0 from the stretch. Right down the pipe, strike 1. 1 run, 4 hits, no errors for Chatham. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for Falmouth here in the bottom of the 5th inning. 2 on, 2 gone. 1-1 the count on Riggio, who's 0 for 2 today. Corbett from the stretch. Another curveball. Swinging a bouncer into the right-handed batter's box. That one goes foul. It's now 1-2. Riggio, another Oklahoma State Cowboy. There are connections here on Cape Cod with summer teams to colleges. One of them with Chatham is Oklahoma State, knowing the manager for the A's is Tom Holliday. He's a pitching coach at OK State for a while. His son is Matt Holliday. His grandson, Jackson Holliday, who just went first overall to the Baltimore Orioles. Corbett still working from the stretch. A pitch away from getting out of a jam. 2 on, 2 gone. 1-2 pitch. He got him on strikes. Did he? No, he didn't. Whoa. If that missed somewhere, that missed on the outer half. The infield was coming in. Payne Stovall has his hands over his head. He can't believe it.
Alex Mooney went down to a squat. They said that Riggio checked his swing.
They reset the count on the scoreboard, too. 2-2 the count. 2 gone, 2 on here in the bottom of the 5th. Corbett kicks and fires. Swinging a foul ball right side. Trickling over to the Falmouth dugout, so we'll do the 2-2 again.
Well, Mike Rabideau was the man who ruled that Riggio held up his swing. Of course, from this vantage point, you can never know for sure, but I'm not even sure Riggio at the plate thought he held up on his strong wrists.
Corbett comes set, 2-2 pitch. Swinging a bouncer to the right side, foul. A little bit towards Jacob Walsh there at first base. Do it again. Go ahead.
Test of concentration for Corbett here, excuse me. Facing down a hitter of this caliber who just got given another chance.
Riggio had 2 home runs on Wednesday against the Commodores. Looking for something similar here. Corbett looking for the opposite, trying to get out of the jam with runners on second and third and 2 gone. 2-2 the count here in the 5th. Here's the pitch. Fastball, he got him on strikes. Well, it took a little bit longer, but that'll play. Caleb Corbett with his 3rd strikeout on the night. As we head into the top of the 6th inning, 1-0 your score. Chatham in front of Falmouth with Pinckney, Stovall, and Walsh coming up for the Doors. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Commodores Radio Network. The Commodores still working from behind here at Veterans Field, trailing the Chatham Anglers by a score of 1-0 going into the top of the 6th inning. With Carter Bainbridge, I'm Trey Redfield. Andrew Pinckney coming up to the plate to lead off this top half. It's Pinckney, Stovall, and Walsh due up for Falmouth. PJ Labriola on for his 2nd inning of work. Lefty on righty matchup. Labriola working from the windup, kicks and fires. Fastball outside for ball 1, coming in at 89 miles an hour. Pinckney got hit by a pitch in the 2nd inning, and then in the 4th, got jammed into a 6-3 double play. 1-0. High and outside, ball 2. I was talking to Pinckney before the game today and immediately realized that he got a haircut. Said, hey, nice haircut, Andrew. He said, appreciate it. Much needed. 2-0 to Pinckney. Swinging a tip off the knee pad, actually, of Rubenstein, who needs a second to fend that one off. Coming behind his spot at home plate is Jeff Merzell, the home plate umpire, to give Labriola and the catcher Rubenstein some time. So it's 2-1 on Pinckney. Still looking for his first hit tonight. The Commodores with just 2 on the evening. One of them coming from Alex Mooney, and the other from Peyton Stovall. So Pinckney steps back into the right-handed batter's box. Rubenstein is all right, back in his squat behind the plate. 2-1 comes in. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Pinckney going after the high cheese. Another one at 89 miles an hour. And the count is even. Labriola has this sign from Rubenstein. Comes set and fires. Swinging a foul ball, bouncing back towards the left side to the right of the Chatham dugout over on third base. So we'll do the 2-2 again. Pinckney comes out of Alabama, where he's going to be heading back to Tuscaloosa for his senior season. Played mostly in center field, where he is tonight. 2-2 the count on Andrew. Labriola kicks and fires. Outside, ball 3, the count is full.
Labriola's got to concentrate on keeping Pinckney off, because if he puts him on, this is a guy who can and will steal.
Pinckney, one of the fastest guys for the Commodores. 3-2 pitch. Swinging a line drive to the right side, tailing towards the right field line. Foul by just an inch or 2. That was so close. I mean, how close did you possibly get? It was foul, but at the same time, that one looked pretty good. Pinckney was already over at third base. He's upset with that one. He ran and hustled and then some all the way over to third base. Now he has to make the long walk back to home plate, where the bat is standing straight up on home plate, that is. So we'll do the 3-2 again. Pinckney missing that one by just inches.
It looked awfully similar to DeLeo's double in the top half of this inning. Just going the other way from the righty box down the line. DeLeo's got down. Pinckney not quite so lucky.
Let's find out if Andrew can get one here. 3-2 the count on him. Nobody on, no one gone here in the top of the 6th. The Commodores trailing the Anglers 1-0. Labriola kicks and fires. Swinging a ground ball over to second base. Going on to Aeneas Riggio. Comes back up from his right knee. Throws over to first in time for the first out here in the top of the 6th. A 4-3 ground out delivered to Andrew Pinckney. He's now 0 for 2 on the evening, as it now brings up Peyton Stovall, the second baseman out of Arkansas. Peyton had an electric College World Series for the Razorbacks, which included knocking out Riggio and the Oklahoma State Cowboys earlier in the NCAA baseball tournament. First pitch to Stovall. Strike 1, a little bit below the belt. So 0-1 on Stovall, who is 1 for 1 today with a walk. But I mentioned the College World Series point. Went 5 for 6 in a game against Auburn in Omaha. 0-1 is a swing and a miss for strike 2.
Kind of see the roadmap working in Tom Holliday's mind over in the Chatham dugout. This could be Labriola's last inning if he gets Stovall and Walsh in order to end it, because Hensley and McKenzie would lead off the next inning, righty and switch hitters respectively.
0-2 is in the dirt, blocked by Rubenstein. It's 1-2 now on Stovall. There is some activity over there in the Chatham bullpen on the left side. Not sure who it is, but I do know that there are a couple of lightsabers over there. Not entirely sure why, but I guess that's just how the Anglers roll. The 1-2 from Labriola. Fastball inside, ball 2, count even.
Stovall and Walsh have struggled both to hit left-handed pitching, a combined 5 for 54 entering the night. But if they break the mold, they can go a long way in starting a rally here.
Walsh is on deck. He's 0 for 2 with a couple of Ks. 2-2 to Stovall's a swing and a line drive over to the right side at second base. Backhanding it is Riggio on a quick hop. Quickly fires over to first and gets the second out. Great play by Rock Riggio. Considered some by Jack Sparrow, the way he runs around the bases celebrating a home run in college ball. There's 2 gone here in the top of the 6th inning. Falmouth trailing Chatham 1-0.
Yeah, that a tricky play because Stovall, for the second time tonight, hit a ball right up the middle on a soft liner. He had a base hit there back in the 4th inning and did it again, this time a little bit too far towards Riggio, who had to make a fine play defensively.
Jacob Walsh goes after the first pitch at 83 miles an hour, a slider low and away for strike 1. I mentioned Walsh was 0 for 2 tonight, but last time the Commodores were here, Walsh hit one over the fence. 0-1. Right down Main Street, strike 2. That home run from Walsh bounced on the right center field fence on the top of it and then bounced off the berm rolling onto the street. 0-2 is the count on Walsh. Here's the pitch. Swinging a foul back directly behind home plate. We'll do the 0-2 again.
Well, that was the home run that kind of jump-started Walsh's season.
Right.
He was hitting under 100 going into the last game we played here at Veterans Field.
It's a guy that certainly hits for power. He has 4 home runs this season, looking for another here potentially. 0-2 pitch, low and away, ball 1.
It's been left-handed heat that's given him problems. If you're Labriola right now, you're going to be thinking fastball after he just took that 0-2 breaking pitch.
It's a lefty-on-lefty duel. 1-2 pitch. Too high, ball 2. Walsh thought about it, but immediately brought the bat back. So the count is even on the Oregon Duck, who hit .295 this season in Eugene. Was a first baseman that had a lot of impact as a freshman. 2-2 the count on Walsh. 1-0 your score to Doors behind the A's as time is called by Labriola. Comes set on the mound, working from the windup. Shakes off Rubenstein. Now has his sign. The 2-2 pitch. Too low. Ball 3. The count is full. It's the second full count we've seen in this top half. The other coming to Andrew Pinckney, who grounded out to Rock Riggio at second base. Two gone, excuse me. As the payoff comes in. Too high, ball 4. Walsh wins the battle. He's aboard for the first time tonight. It's a walk on a 3-2 count, and it now brings up Tafton Hensley. Speaking of Oregon Ducks, he's the newest one on the block, transferring from the College of the Canyons in California.
Hensley's today has had 2 tough ABs, a double play, and then bunted into a ground out to lead off the 5th inning against Labriola, but he can make an impact here and make his name known right away here with a hit.
First pitch to Hensley, misses just a bit outside for ball 1. Tafton hit under 350, just a little bit under 350 at the College of the Canyons, where he had 15 home runs along with 54 RBIs. 1-0 is the count on Tafton. Walsh over there on first base. 1-0 is a swing and a fly ball. Coming into center field is DeLeo. He makes the grab to close out the top of the 6th. So a fly out to center field from Tafton Hensley closes things out. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 man left on base for Falmouth. It trails Chatham by a score of 1-0 going into the bottom of the 6th inning with Ingram, Miller Green, and Butcher due up for the A's. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Commodores Radio Network.
Ingram.
Welcome back to Veterans Field. The Commodores behind the Anglers by a score of 1-0 going into the bottom of the 6th inning. Caleb Corbett on for his second inning of work, taking on Chuck Ingram, who is 1 for 1 today with a single in the second. Corbett working from the windup, kicks and fires the first pitch on the low and inner part of the zone for strike one. Corbett's working from the windup. It's a righty on righty duel, and Corbett's working quickly. 0-1 pitch coming. Swing and a miss, strike two. Caleb took some speed off that one, coming in at 82 miles an hour. Quickly, Ingram's down 0-2, who went down swinging on a full count last time up in the 4th. Corbett kicks and fires. High and a little bit outside, ball one. Corbett thought it was strike three. He was starting to take his strike three walk around the mound, but had to stop, go back up to the mound, and now ready to deliver the 1-2 pitch. In the dirt, did he go around? He did not, says Reynaldo Cochran, first base umpire. So it's now 2-2 on Ingram. Corbett already back on the mound, has his sign from Neerai. The 2-2. In the dirt, and he went around. Strike three. That's Corbett's 4th strikeout on the evening. He's been in for 4 outs, and he's gotten all of them by himself with the K. One gone here in the bottom of the 6th, and it now brings up Guy Garibay Jr. pinch hitting for Lyle Miller Green.
Well, Corbett's had both the fastball and the slider working today. That was a fastball down in the zone that Ingram just couldn't lay off of it. And good movement, as have all of his pitches tonight. He's been in command, as he has pretty much the last 3 outings.
Garibay this season has 5 home runs and 19 RBIs for the A's. First pitch to him. Fastball in the outer half, strike one. Painting the outside corner there was Corbett. Louisville Cardinal looking for his 5th strikeout and in a groove, working fast. 1-0 is a grounder over to second base. 0-1, excuse me. Stovall picks it up, knee level, throws it over to first in time for the second out.
And another good play by Stovall that won't make the papers, but again had to play a tricky hop. That a soft line drive off the bat of Garibay that had some decent backspin on it. It took a unexpected bounce that Stovall had to field down kind of at thigh level with his glove underneath, kind of a defensive position to get it, but kept it together and made the throw well in time.
So 1-0 is your score. Falmouth trailing Chatham. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning with nobody on and 2 gone. The batter is Will Butcher. First pitch from Corbett to him in the dirt, scooped up by Neerai, the catcher. Ball one to the first baseman out of UNC Charlotte, who is 0 for 2 tonight. .0 from Corbett. Curveball at the letters for strike one. The infield playing straight up right now. Shading a little bit to his right is Mooney, leaving more of a hole on the left side, closer to second base. The outfield playing deep. Fastball swinging a ground ball left side foul. It's now 1-2 on Butcher. And rightfully so to play deep, especially when you talk about right field. Say that Butcher goes opposite field with it. It's 314 down the right field line, 385 to dead center, and it's 340 over to left. Corbett awaits his sign from Neerai. Has it, kicks and fires the 1-2. Swinging a shot out to left center field. Pinckney going back all the way to the track, and he makes the grab, tailing to his right to close out the 6th inning. Great read from Andrew Pinckney, the center fielder out of Alabama, who closes out the 6th. We head to the top of the 7th. Falmouth with some work to do, trailing 1-0 to Chatham. McKenzie, Neerai, and Mooney at the top of the order coming up after this. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Commodores Radio Network.
Oh, we're venturing into the late stages of this game out at Veterans Field with the Falmouth Commodores trailing the Chatham Anglers by just a lone run. 1-0 is your score right now. Carter Bainbridge along with Trey Redfield and Logan Safarenko with you here on the Falmouth Commodores radio network. Well, the Doors are trying to mount something here, Trey. Only 2 hits on the day and no runs so far. But they're now going to have to take their cracks against a new hard-throwing right-hander in Ben Peterson.
I would say the positive is that he's a right-handed hard-throwing pitcher, because this Commodore lineup is loaded with lefties from top to bottom. Obviously, Mooney's the righty, but in the leadoff spot. But either way, the Commodores will take it. Peterson comes down to Florida Southwestern, where he's making his 5th appearance in 11 2/3 innings pitched. He struck out 12 and walked just 2. Strikeout to walk ratio, not too shabby, partner.
So Peterson with the ball in his right hand, ready to get things going here in the 7th inning. Top of the 7th with McKenzie, Neary, and Mooney. 8, 9, and 1 in the Falmouth order coming up. Peterson kicks and deals. First pitch swinging for McKenzie, fouled down the left field line, and it plunks into foul ground way beyond the line. As Ingram gave it a look but had no play. It's 0-1.
That's something the Commodores should be doing. You know, you only have 2 hits on the night. Go fast with it. Try and find something immediately. Attack the first pitch if it's there. If you like it, go after it. Why not? I mean, you're down 1-0. Just one swing can put you back in this ball game.
McKenzie swinging the bat around. Now the 0-1 pitch to the plate. Breaking ball a tad low, and it's 1-1. McKenzie today 0 for 1 with a walk. That base on balls was his last time up in the 5th inning. The Doors to this point have left 7 men on base. 1-1 from Peterson, down low and inside, and it clipped McKenzie, it looks like, on the foot as he flings the bat away towards the Falmouth dugout, but now is told by home plate umpire Jeff Merzell to come back.
It looks like it hit his foot. I mean, I was ready to write it in my scorebook.
Well, McKenzie looked pretty sure of himself.
Yeah.
2-1 pitch to McKenzie. Swing and a miss at a fastball up high. It's 2-2. Well, if that was an acting job, it was a pretty good one. But didn't fool Merzell behind the plate.
McKenzie should go into acting.
McKenzie gets the bat ready again, twirling it around. 2-2 pitch from Peterson. In the dirt, 3-2.
That one did not get him. You got to give props to Anthony, though. Working counts. He's been doing it all game. Went down on a full count. Walked on 4 pitches last time up. Let's find out what he does here on his second 3-2 count.
Payoff pitch to McKenzie. Fastball on the inside corner for strike 3. Peterson comes in and strikes out his first hitter. McKenzie down on strikes on a good heater on the inside part of the plate, and that brings up Danny Neary with 1 out, and the base is empty here in the top of the 7th. First pitch to Neary, in for a strike, fastball again, and it's 0-1 on the Falmouth catcher. Neary today 0 for 1 with a walk. Lefty bat against the righty Peterson, who kicks and deals. Fastball down low off the glove of Rubenstein behind the plate. It's 1-1. So defensive change for Chatham, by the way. Guy Garibay is now playing right field. He pinch hit for Lyle Miller-Green in the bottom of the 6th that now stays in defensively. 1-1 pitch to Neary. Breaking ball a little bit too far inside, and it's 2-1. So Peterson from Cary, North Carolina, just finished up his junior season with Florida Southwestern State. 2-1 pitch to Neary, grounded foul right side, 2-2. So hard fastball for this right-hander. He can dial it up to 95 miles an hour. Hit 93 on that last pitch to Neary. Adds in a curveball in the high 70s with some sharp break. 2-2 pitch to Neary. Swing and a miss, and there's that breaking ball to get Neary swinging over the top for the second out here in the top of the 7th inning. Back-to-back Ks from this high-powered arm of Peterson, and that brings up Alex Mooney with 2 away, and the base is still clear in the top of the 7th inning. First pitch on the way to Mooney. Swinging a first pitch ground ball to second base. Reggio backhand to his right and throws on to first in time for out number 3. First pitch attacking for Mooney, but a ground out ends the top of the 7th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left as Peterson sits down the Doors 1-2-3 It's still 1-0 Chatham as we head on to the bottom of the 7th with Engel, Castagnosi, and Rubenstein. 7, 8, and 9 for the Anglers due up. When we come back, you're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network.
Welcome back to Veterans Field, where we are up and stretching. Logan Sofranco with you here. Time to take you around the Cape League. The Bourne Braves have a 4-2 lead over the Harwich Mariners. They're in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Bourne Braves clinched their playoff spot last night. The Hyannis Harbor Hawks and the Katuitt Kettleers in a battle for first place. The Harbor Hawks lead that game by a score of 7-3. So if Hyannis wins tonight's contest, they can go back up into first place. And the biggest one that we found with Commodore fans are looking at is the Brewster Whitecaps and the Wareham Gateman game. They're in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Brewster Whitecaps with a 6-5 lead. The Doors' magic number is 3, and should the Falmouth Commodores not come back in this game and the Wareham Gatemen lose a game, the Commodores' magic number will go down to 2. Guys?
Well, thank you, Logan. There's certainly a lot to pay attention to league-wide as we head into the final stretch of this season. After tonight, the Doors have just 4 regular season games remaining. So this one with the A's means that much more. But right now, the Doors are down 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. And a new pitcher on the mound, Trey. It's left-hander Garrett Coe.
And he faced these Chatham Anglers just recently. He gave up a home run to Rock Riggio, and he actually called it one of his worst outings ever. That's something he was talking about when he got back into the bullpen part of the dugout, what I call the peanut gallery at Gov Fuller Field. So a golden opportunity here for Coe to put that behind him and put together a good outing here. You know, it's all about having a short memory in baseball, and especially so as a pitcher, knowing you went up against this team last time in the Chatham A's, just over in Falmouth at the Gov.
Coe staring down Cooper Engel, the left-handed hitting designated hitter. Kicks and fires the first pitch down low and away, and it's 1-0. So that outing you referred to, Trey, just 2 days ago against these Anglers, Coe pitched an inning, gave up 5 hits, 3 earned runs. 1-0 pitch comes in for a strike, 1-1 on Engel.
And something with Coe is just like Jeter, you know, another left-handed pitcher who's going to touch out at the high 80s. So really important to have control here.
1-1 pitch down low, 2-1 the count on Engel. Well, that outing raised Coe's ERA on the summer to 4.69 in his first 9 games. This is appearance number 10. 2-1 pitch on the way to Engel. Breaking ball up high, and it's 3-1. Coe, big left-hander, 6'6", 255-pounder from Lakeside, Connecticut. Stayed close to home with the Yukon Huskies, where he does his pitching in the spring. 3-1 pitch in for a strike on the outside corner. It's 3-2.
Yeah, you know it's close to home when you're in Connecticut. That state's pretty small, you know, not a bad trip from Lakeside to Storrs.
Coe staring in, getting his signs from near eye, now turns and fires the 3-2. Swinging a bouncing ball to shortstop. Mooney waits for it, taps the glove, fires the throw onto first, and it's in time for out number 1 here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Mooney's had just only a couple of tries at ground balls today. Nothing much has really gone his way. And finally, we have ourselves an Alex Mooney putout coming into the bottom of the 7th inning. That's just fascinating to me, you know, knowing how the pitchers have been able to control their own game, especially Caleb Corbin. I mean, he had, what, 4 strikeouts in 6 outs? That's not too shabby.
First pitch to Johnny Castagnosi is fouled back, 0-1 the count on the Chatham third baseman. Hitting 8th today, he's 0 for 1 with a walk. Castagnosi takes a practice swing outside the righty box with Jack Rubenstein, the catcher, on deck. Coe peering in, now goes into his wind, and the 0-1 pitch on the way to Castagnosi. Swinging a bouncing ball to third base this time. with McKenzie coming in. He throws on the run in time for out number 2. Solid play by Anthony McKenzie, who mans second base usually at Sam Houston State and hasn't played the field a ton this summer, but he made that play look pretty easy.
Yeah, and third base is his secondary position too, third and shortstop with that. So McKenzie knows how to play the infield, and he made that look so easy, kind of like Peyton Stovall, who doesn't play much second base, but just over at third, routine play for him.
There's Jack Rubenstein, who takes ball 1 with 2 down, and the base is empty here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Left-hander Garrett Coe has retired the first 2 Chatham Anglers he's faced in order. Now winds and the 1-0. Swinging a soft pop to first base. Walsh heading out into shallow right to make the catch, jogging towards the foul pole, and that's out number 3 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. So how about Garrett Coe coming in to retire the Anglers 1-2-3. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. We go to the top of the 8th with Halter, Borfin, and Pinckney. 2, 3, and 4 for Falmouth due up. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores radio network. The Doors still trail 1-0 here at Veterans Field against the Chatham Anglers as we head into the top of the 8th inning. But Colby Halter, Jace Borfin, and Andrew Pinckney, 2, 3, and 4 in the Doors lineup, are coming up to hit. Falmouth in desperate need of a rally, Trey, and you figure if something's going to start here for the Doors, it may very well be in this inning.
A favorable matchup to start things off here in the 8th. Righty on lefty, pitcher to batter. Halter has been smoking righties this season. I mean, he has 7 bombs on the year, just like his jersey number.
Ben Peterson winds in the first pitch to Halter. Fastball misses the outer half to the left-handed hitting DH. Halter today is 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch on what has been a very quiet evening for the Doors offense. Peterson's 1-0, swing and a miss, and a fastball about chest high, and it's 1-1 on Halter. Peterson looking in to get the signs from Rubenstein. Now winds in the 1-1, swing and a miss again. Curveball down and away from Halter, had him fishing, and it's 1-2.
And now it comes down to that 2-strike approach from Colby. Crowd the plate a little bit, choke up on the bat even more than he already does. Take advantage, keep fighting until the very end. That's something Colby does.
1-2 pitch to Halter. Breaking ball, clipped him.
Hit him.
Halter now jogs to first base. Well, now they call a strike. Home plate umpire Jeff Merzell saying that ball foul tipped into the glove of Rubenstein, perhaps. Here comes Jeff Trunny to get his words in. Halter's really given Merzell an argument.
And he should. I mean,
foul ball and then the out signal, so that's going to be the call here.
Oh, man.
Halter would be a strikeout victim if this holds up. So I guess they're saying it went off, what, the knob of the bat into the glove of Rubenstein?
I mean, that's exactly what it would be.
Mike Landry, the pitching coach, now comes out.
I thought it went off his elbow guard.
Halter seemed pretty convinced that it got him. Not the first time we've seen this tonight, and now Coach Landry is just guiding Halter back to the dugout. He is really hot.
And that's something that Colby shows sometimes, you know. And I think with Colby, when he argues he pleads a good case. He argues, I think, at the right time.
Fielder, number 9,
At questionable
Chase
calls,
Gordon.
you know, strike calls sometimes where he just flips out, and rightfully so. I mean, I honestly thought that hit him.
Halter was really fuming, but he's a strikeout victim here in the 8th inning. First pitch to Jace Borfin's up high, 1-0 with now 1 out, and the base is empty. So a huge difference between a guy at first and nobody down, and 1 out and the base is empty, which is what we have here. Borfin fouls this pitch back at the plate. It's 1-1. 92 miles an hour from Ben Peterson, the right-hander on the mound with the fastball.
And that kills, too, because Colby's the fastest guy on this team.
Pitch to Borfin off the plate, 2-1. Borfin lefty bat, 0 for 2 today with a hit by pitch. 2-1 delivery to him. Fastball on the inner half, strike 2. Borfin gives Merzel a look, but doesn't say much as he steps out of the lefty box and now comes back in, tapping the plate with the bat. Peterson working quickly, the 2-2, down in the dirt, 3-2. Well, Colby Halter's done a lot of damage against right-handed pitching this year, but Jace Borfin is the best guy the Doors have against right-handers. A .385 mark in his first 26 at-bats, including 5 doubles, 2 triples, and a home run. So if the Doors are counting on one big swing here, they have the right guy up at the plate to do it. Their number 3 hitter and left fielder today. As Jeff Merzel came behind home plate to say something to Peterson, who's ready to go with the 3-2 to Borfin. Swinging a fly ball foul left side. He really ripped it, and it's 3-2 still. Borfin back into the box quickly, Trey. He and Peterson having quite a battle here and both moving quickly.
He wants it. I mean, how could you not? It's late in this one. You need a run.
3-2 to Borfin again. Fastball froze him for strike 3. And Borfin with some words for Merzel as he heads back to the Falmouth dugout.
Fielder, number 24,
Second straight
Drew
strikeout in this inning. 4th in 5 batters for Peterson. And there's 2 down. Base is still clear for Andrew Pinckney.
And last time up, Pinckney was inches away from making this one even more interesting than it is because of the scoreboard. And the last time he was up, Pinckney sent a flare to the right side foul by less than a foot, and he was rounding towards third base when it happened.
First pitch from Peterson to Pinckney stays away from the right-handed hitter. It's 1-0. That play you're referring to, that would-be double down the right field line, just got too much chalk off the end of the bat from Pinckney. 1-0 pitch, swinging a ground ball, softly hit to third base. Castagnazzi off his off-balance throw. It gets away from first base as Butcher couldn't corral it. It goes over by the fence, out of play, and Pinckney is awarded second base.
Rightfully so. That bounce onto the screen, that's considered out of play. So Pinckney will go over the second base, and now comes up Peyton Stovall. You put a flare in the center field with 2 outs, Pinckney's going to score. It's going to be a 1-1 game. You're going to give something for your defense to say, hey, keep it this way so we can take it into the top of the 9th. This is a huge at-bat here for Peyton, who has that favorable matchup, righty on lefty, pitcher to batter.
Now they rule that a purely an error. No infield hit for Pinckney on that play, just an E5 on Castagnazzi. So Pinckney at second base, and Peyton Stovall is the hitter against Ben Peterson with 2 outs here in the top of the 8th inning. Peterson winds and deals to Stovall. Breaking ball on the outer half for strike 1, 0-1. So Johnny Castagnazzi, the guilty party with the error at third base, who had to make a very tough play just to be straight with it, but had no chance to get the Pinckney down the first baseline, who runs very well. 0-1 on the way to Stovall, swinging a tapper foul back of the plate. It's 0-2 on the Commodores' second baseman. Stovall today is 1 for 2 with a walk. He's been on base 2 of his 3 trips, has had a solid day, and now gets to face a right-handed pitcher. But Peterson has been throwing hard since he came in to start the 7th inning. The wind and the 0-2. Fastball, top of the zone, didn't catch the corner, and it's 1-2. Stovall adjusts the wrist tape and now comes back into the lefty box. First baseman Butcher guarding the line for Chatham. Pinckney at second base, 2 down, top of the 8th. Peterson deals the 1-2, swinging a foul back, and the count stays 1-2.
That's a 2-strike swing right there. Through and through. Stovall didn't like it. He knew it was going to be in the zone. Had to get some bat on it, and he did. Now you live to see another day. Choke up on the bat a little bit. Give your team an opportunity here.
1-2 the count still. Peterson gets his sign, goes into the wind and the pitch. Swinging a ground ball right side, into right field, a base hit. Pinckney hurtling around third base. The throw is going to be late, and this game is tied. 2-out RBI single for Peyton Stovall here in the top of the 8th inning, and it's 1-1 here at Veterans Field. It's a brand new ball game between the Commodores and the Anglers.
What did I say? Give your team an opportunity to get back in this game. Peyton Stovall did just that. He tried to foul off as many pitches as he could, found something that he liked, and he found the hole. Now the Commodores are in business, and you bring up a guy that went yard last time these guys were here.
First pitch to Jacob Walsh is up high. They appeal to third base umpire Mike Rabideau, who says Walsh held up. 2 down, and Peyton Stovall at first base, playing hero at least for the time being, tying things up with an RBI single, the first run on the board for the Doors today on just their 3rd hit, and it's 1-1 here in the top of the 8th as Peterson fires to Walsh, a strike, 1-1 the count. And Will Butcher, the first baseman for Chatham, who was guarding the line, could have perhaps had a play at that ball if he was playing straight up. 1-1 to Walsh. Breaking ball outer half, and it's 2-1.
And he's still guarding that line a little bit, not shuffling too much over to his right after holding off Peyton Stovall at first base. So that gap is open if Walsh wants to rip it that way.
2-1 pitch to Walsh. Swinging a pop-up, back of the plate. Rubenstein looking over, as well as Castagnazzi in from third base and foul ground to make the catch on the third base side. So the top of the 8th inning ends, but not before the Doors get a run on a very big hit. The RBI single from Peyton Stovall cashing in on the E5, and we're tied up at 1 heading into the bottom of the 8th inning. DeLeo, Brown, and Riggio, the top 3 for Chatham in their order, due up when we return. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network. Well, we're on to the bottom of the 8th inning here at Veterans Field in a 1-1 tie. The Doors have finally broken through with a run in the top of the 8th inning, courtesy of a 2-out RBI single from Peyton Stovall that scored Andrew Pinckney from second base after an error with 2 outs by Chatham third baseman Johnny Castagnazzi. Garrett Coe still on the mound, dealing with Jake DeLeo, who swings and pops the first pitch up left side. Back of the plate as Neareye chases it over by the Chatham dugout and stabs the ball out of midair. 1 away on a nice play by Danny Neareye behind the plate. He stayed with that ball all the way and speared it.
Yeah, perfect. He speared that ball over in the third base dugout for Chatham, exactly like you did. Just went his left hand, bring it up and down to make the grab. Normally you try and basket catch it, but whatever works for the Notre Dame catcher.
Marcus Brown now at the plate. Garrett Coe's first pitch to him is outside for ball 1. So Falmouth's lefty on for inning number 2. A quick out on DeLeo, an impressive play by Danny Neareye behind the plate, who just took that ball out of the air like a big bear claw overhand. 1-0 to Brown is way high. Chatham shortstop ducking out of the way of that offering, and it's 2-0.
The only thing was he didn't scream like a bear or anything. So that's a good thing.
Well, Coe's big enough if he really wanted to play up that factor. More concentrated on getting Brown out. 2-0, swing and a miss. Coe gave him a fastball and challenged him on a hitter's count, and Brown took a mighty cut but just came up empty.
And Coe wants more. He immediately comes set from the windup on the mound. And needing more time is Marcus Brown, the left-handed hitter, but Coe wants it. I mean, how could you not?
Coe nods, goes into his wind, and the 2-1 on the way to Brown. Swinging a high drive to center field. Pinckney heading back, now rounding it off towards the warning track to make the catch to his left. Well struck off the bat of Marcus Brown, but not quite enough on it to head all the way over the wall. Instead, it's a very loud F8 for the second out here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
And Pinckney's playing deep back there. Like, that outfield's been playing deep all night. And like I said when I was on the play-by-play, rightfully so, because from center to right, it's shallow over there. I mean, Pinckney didn't have to go too far back, but had a great read on the ball. Used his speed to get there quickly and made some late adjustments to make the grab.
Here's Rock Riggio, who takes ball 1 down low, 1-0. And these Anglers fans, a lot of them here today, are in hushed anticipation for what their second baseman's about to do next. With a 12-game hitting streak on the line in this at-bat. 1-0 pitch, breaking ball, doesn't quite catch the inside part of the plate. It's 2-0. And perhaps even more worrisome for Garrett Coe, Riggio did tag him for a home run just 2 days ago. The second blast on that 2-homer day in the 5th inning out at the Gov. 2-0 to Riggio is a rocket foul right side, right off the top of the fence. And it's 2-1.
Look out. That was a smoke show down the line. When it ricochets like that off the top of the fence, better look out even more, because you don't know where that thing is going to bounce.
So Riggio's trying to avoid making his 4th consecutive out of the day. His first 3 have all ended innings in the 1st, the 3rd, and the 5th. Now trying to avoid doing that here in the 8th. Coe goes into his wind, and the 2-1. Swinging a tapper foul right side, it's 2-2.
And if I'm Garrett Coe, I'm looking for something like that again. Find a way to jam Riggio. Bring it in a little bit more, challenge him. That's something that Coe does really well. He wants to challenge guys. It's what control pitchers do best. I'm going to give you my stuff. If you hit it, so be it, but I may jam you.
2-2 pitch to Riggio. Fastball, got him looking! We head on to the top of the 9th inning as Garrett Coe sits down the Anglers 1-2-3 for the 2nd consecutive frame. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. It'll be Hensley, McKenzie, and Neareye, 7, 8, and 9 for the Doors, due up to bat in this final frame when we return. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network. Well, this game has flown right along, but it hasn't been short on drama. It's 1-1 between the Doors and Anglers here at Veterans Field. Here in the top of the 9th inning, it's Drew Brutcher getting his first at-bat of the day, coming in for Tafton Hensley, whose debut game with the Doors this summer ends with an 0-for-3 mark. Brutcher, a lefty bat, getting his first swings in of the day against righty Ben Peterson. First pitch to Brutcher is low, 1-0. So Jeff Trundy going to his bench for the first time today. 1-0 pitch to Brutcher is a swing and a high drive to left field. Ingram headed back, now comes in a step and makes the catch for out number 1. Well, you like the move, bringing in Brutcher, who over his last 10 games coming into the night was hitting .433. As we see Corey Collins now in the on-deck circle. Anthony McKenzie steps into the left-handed batter's box, though, right now with 1 away, bases empty against Ben Peterson. First pitch to McKenzie's in for a strike. McKenzie kind of raised his elbows as if to get out of the way, but saw a strike go by, and it's 0-1. 91 on the gun from Peterson. 0-1 pitch on the way from Peterson. Another take inside by McKenzie, but this time a ball, 1-1. Curveball that time from Peterson missed the zone. As the defense for Chatham plays McKenzie straight up. Switch hitter batting left-handed against the right-handed pitcher, and McKenzie calls time. Peterson fires the pitch anyway. But no pitch, and the count stays 1-1. Peterson on for inning number 3 tonight. Came on in the 7th and has been effective. 1-1 delivery, swing and a miss. At a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, McKenzie was well late, and it's 1-2 on the Falmouth third baseman. 1-1 your score here at Veterans Field. Top of the 9th inning. 2-2 pitch to McKenzie is a swing and a tapper over by the Falmouth dugout. Picked up by Corey Collins in the on-deck circle. So another pinch hitter is due to come up here in the number 9 spot. Josiah Cromwick, the other catcher you figure, would come in defensively for the bottom of the 9th. 2-2. Swinging a ground ball past Peterson up the middle. Riggio can't field it at second base to his right, and McKenzie is safe. Well, your first instinct is to call that an infield hit. I would say that's the case all the way. As McKenzie gets on base for the second time today. He's 1 for 3 with a walk now. Over at first base, hit all the way, says the Veterans Field scorer. And Corey Collins is your hitter.
25, Corey Collins.
So now brings up Corey, left-handed hitter, and McKenzie on base. Got to find a gap here if you're Corey. We'll explain why here in a second.
Peterson throws over to first base, and McKenzie's back.
Because Wareham just lost to Brewster 6-5 with the bases loaded in the bottom of the 9th inning. So it's ever so important for Falmouth to grab not 1, but 2 points here. Give your team a chance to win.
McKenzie at first base, Collins at the plate. First pitch is a strike, 0-1 the count. So Collins coming in for Danny Neary, whose day is over after an 0 for 2 with a walk line. And in the bottom of the 9th, Falmouth doesn't need a catcher anyway. No extra innings here on the Cape, so Josiah Cromwick's services not needed. But Jeff Trundy not leaving anything to chance here. He's going to go down with his best, using up his 2 left-handed hitters on the bench. First Brutcher and now Collins here in the 9th. 0-1, a swing and a foul right back. It's 0-2.
There's a late adjustment over there in right field. Guy Garibay moving about 8 to 10 steps to his left, so which leaves more of an open hole towards right center field. I don't know if I like that move by the Anglers because Collins puts the ball in right center field when he hits for power.
0-2 the count on Collins as the throw goes over to first, and again, McKenzie slides back to the bag safely. Collins at the plate in his first at-bat today. Coming in for Neary. Collins hitting 164 on the season and fouls that pitch back. It's 0-2. However, we've talked a lot about what Collins has been doing lately. He's a .263 hitter over his last 7 games and has been walking at a fair clip. This is a guy who will take his pitches. He's walked 15 times this summer. Peterson looking in, now puts the ball in the glove, and the throw over to first again, and McKenzie's back. Well, the Doors don't have any pinch hitting options, and McKenzie's not a base stealer. So you figure whatever happens in this inning, it's not going to come from the running game. 0-2 pitch to Collins, way high. Fastball almost looked like a pitch out, and it's 1-2.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I mean, you're so worried about the runner, but you realize, hey, I may need to actually throw it to this guy. So why not do a pitch out? You were ahead 0-2. You're still ahead 1-2 now. But now, if you're the pitcher, you got to attack.
Second baseman Riggio cheating towards the second base bag. Double play depth. 1-2 to Collins. Breaking ball down low, and it's 2-2. Otherwise, the defense straight up for this left-handed outfielder slash DH slash sometimes catcher. Not this summer, but he's done that plenty at Georgia.
He's a UTL
in his
utility.
collegiate playing. Peterson, another throw over. Making McKenzie dance around over there and really work to get back to the bag. Will Butcher over at first is doing a good job of keeping McKenzie on. Collins still at the plate. 2-2 the count, the pitch. Swing and a pop-up. Back of the plate, drifting over towards the netting as Rubenstein gives it a look, and it does fall in play in foul ground. So Rubenstein coming out from behind the plate, and Johnny Castagnazzi from third base both came over towards the Chatham dugout, but both of them lost sight of it. And Collins does catch a break to stay alive.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was tailing foul, and it looks like the catcher Rubenstein thought it did too. He overran that ball. Bounce over to the left side of the grandstand. Corey lives to see another day. Do whatever you can here to stay alive if you're Corey Collins.
And this Chatham crowd getting loud here in the top of the ninth inning. 1-1 your score. 2-2 pitch to Collins is a swing and a pop-up. Right side, Riggio going out from second. Garibay coming in from right to make the catch on the run. And that's out number 2 as McKenzie goes back to first base here in the top of the ninth inning.
There's a positive here. You have the top of the order coming up in Alex Mooney. Mooney had himself a single in the 5th, but he's been struggling a little bit at the plate so far in this past week. I'm going to say it. Alex is due.
Mooney just a 190 hitter over his last 5. Swings at the first pitch down the third base line. Foul. 0-1 the count, so Mooney first pitch attacking as is his custom. 0-1 the count though on the Falmouth shortstop with Anthony McKenzie over at first base, who reached on an infield single up the middle. Riggio could not field it with 1 out. And the Doors are down to their last chance offensively in this game. Mooney righty bat against the righty Peterson, who kicks and deals. 0-1 down in the dirt, 1-1 as Rubenstein comes up with it. McKenzie staying put at first base though. 1-1 the count on Mooney, who's 1 for 4 today. Ground out, fly out, single, and another ground out to second base, his last time up in the 7th inning. Peterson ready. And the stretch, the 1-1. Swinging a ground ball, left side, into left field, a base hit. McKenzie stops at second base, and it's a 2-out hit for Alex Mooney here in the top of the 9th inning. He keeps the line moving. And look who's coming to the plate. It's Colby Halter with 2 down in the top of the 9th inning in a tie game and with a runner in scoring position.
There's no better time to be a hero if you are Colby Halter in this moment. You got 2 on, 2 gone to the top of the 9th inning. And the Anglers may go situational here. Do I see anyone in that bullpen? No. This is Peterson's game to finish. And it's just so important to grab 2 points right here if you're the Commodores, because the Gateman lost today. The magic number in points for Falmouth to make the playoffs is 5. So with a Wareham loss tonight, and if Falmouth wins, that number goes down to 3. It's ever so important right now for the Doors to get this done. And you have the right guy at the plate coming up in Colby Halter. He's only reached base once today. And it was a hit by pitch in the 5th inning. Whatever you can do to get on, Colby has to do it right here and right now.
Chatham pitching coach Dennis Cook and about half of the Chatham infield just had a conference on the mound with Ben Peterson. And you imagine the conversation went that, well, Ben, I don't know if you're going to win or lose this game, but you're going to finish it one way or another.
Yeah. Good assumption there.
Anthony McKenzie at second base, Alex Mooney at first base. 2 singles for the Doors here in the top of the 9th inning, trying to mount a comeback against the Anglers. Peterson looking back, Mooney now fires the first pitch to Halter. Check swing and a called strike, 0-1 the count. Halter this season in 25 at-bats with runners in scoring position is a .280 hitter with 10 driven in, with a huge chance here to give the Doors a dramatic run here in the top of the 9th. 0-1 to Halter, swing and a miss, quickly 0-2 on the Falmouth DH.
Now or never here for Colby. He's got to put one in the gap. And if I'm Brett Becker, that ball goes into play, third base coach. I'm sending McKenzie. Now or never.
0-2 the count with 2 down. Runners at first and second. Peterson fires. Fouled back. Well, Anthony McKenzie's not the fastest runner on this team, but you are right. Coach Becker's going to be sending him no matter what.
Rightfully so.
If it stays in the outfield, that is. 0-2 on Halter. He of the .317 average entering the night, and they're getting loud here in Chatham. 0-2, swing and a miss. And that's how the top of the 9th inning ends. Ben Peterson gets the Anglers out of a big-time jam by striking out Colby Halter and stranding a pair of Commodores. We head on to the bottom of the 9th inning as the Doors try to salvage a tie here at Veterans Field. It's 1-1 with Ingram, Garibay, and Butcher. 4, 5, and 6 for Chatham due up in this final frame. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network.
I get misty just holding your hand. Walk my way.
Well, we're on to the bottom of the 9th inning here at Veterans Field with the Doors and Anglers locked up in a 1-1 tie. Falmouth can't win this game, but if right-hander A.J. Causey, the new pitcher into the game for the Doors, can put up a scoreless inning, Falmouth can get a point against these Anglers and snap a 2-game losing streak. Causey, a submarining right-hander, on for this high-leverage inning and facing Caden Hobson, a pinch hitter, hitting in the number 4 spot, replacing Chuck Ingram here in the 9th inning. Causey on the mound for Falmouth. First pitch to Hobson's in for a strike, and it's 0-1. This is Causey's 3rd appearance, last played in the Chatham game the other day. Pitched a scoreless inning, faced 3 batters, got them all out in order. 0-1 on the way to Hobson. Swinging a softly hit ground ball off the end of the bat to Stovall at second base, who had to come in, and the throw on to first in time for out number 1. Gigantic first out.
Just gigantic? I think gigantic is an understatement. This is exactly what Causey's into doing. His 3rd appearance, he's only had 2 innings pitched for the Commodores this season coming out of Jacksonville State. So the Gamecock is in for a moment like this, where he's in to jam guys using his submarining sidearm motion that he brings to the table. He has a frisbee slider with it, likes to go with the fastball, and knowing he goes with that sidearm submarine motion, the velo is going to be down, topping out at mid-80s at best.
Here's Guy Garibay, who takes a strike, 0-1 the count on the Chatham right fielder, who pinch hit in the bottom of the 6th inning and grounded out his first time up. Now gets his second cracks today. Causey winds and deals the 0-1. Slow breaking ball stays low, and it's 1-1. With 1 out here in the bottom of the 9th inning, the Doors are trying to hold the Anglers off for 1 more inning and come away from Veterans Field with a tie. 1-1. Breaking ball outside, and it's 2-1. In his first 2 innings this summer, Causey has not allowed an earned run, a run of any kind for that matter, on only 1 hit. No walks, 2 strikeouts in limited sample size. 2-1 to Garibay, low and away. It's 3-1.
And if you're going to give up a guy on base, if you're going to let a guy go on base here, have to do it with 2 outs, because the last thing you want to do is have a guy on with 1 gone, then he gets situational. Advance the guy over to second, sets up a play at the plate potentially later.
3-1 delivery to Garibay, catches the top of the zone, 3-2. Garibay is also 5 for 5 on steals, so this is a guy you definitely want to keep off base. Lefty bat against the righty Causey, who goes into his wind in the 3-2, swinging a foul right back. And the count stays full on the Chatham right fielder.
Man, I thought we were going to catch one tonight. I thought we were. They've been coming our way. We've been ready, but now we're just sailing over our heads.
3-2, the count still on Garibay. And the pitch, swinging a ground ball right side, and the count stays full. So Garibay doing exactly what he needs to do in this at-bat, and that's put up a fight against Causey, who you know is not going to walk a lot of batters. In 48 1/3 innings this spring at Jacksonville State, Causey walked just 10. He is in and around the strike zone. Doesn't throw all that hard, but can certainly throw you off with that unorthodox delivery. 3-2 again. Swinging a lightly hit ground ball again over by the on-deck circle. Garibay takes a deep breath, circling back around the backside of the plate. Now ventures his way back into the left-handed batter's box with a couple practice steps, as if to remind himself, here's how you're supposed to time it up. 1 away, base is empty. Bottom of the 9th as Causey deals. 3-2, got him swinging. Second out via the strikeout for A.J. Causey, and there's 2 away. The base is still clear for Will Butcher. The Anglers are down to their final out, searching for points in that Eastern Division, but the Doors, doing the same thing out in the West, are trying not to yield. Butcher, righty bat, with the bases empty and 2 down here at Veterans Field. Causey looking in, winds and fires. First pitch, swinging a line drive, base hit into left field. In front of Borfin, Butcher on with his first hit today. A 2-out single keeps this game going, and it's Cooper Ingle coming to the plate.
And Chatham's going to bring on a pinch runner.
University of South Carolina, number 10,
It's Matthew Hogan. Pinch running for Butcher here in the bottom of the 9th.
Number 37, Cooper Ingle.
And Cooper Ingle is the batter. So for Will Butcher, his first hit on the summer for the Anglers, and that his 6th at-bat, extends this game at least for 1 more hitter. And Cooper Ingle stands in. Causey winds and fires, swinging a line drive to left center field, base hit. Pinckney fields it as Hogan took a wide turnaround second and now slides back into the bag. Second straight hit for the A's with 2 down here in the bottom of the 9th inning. And there's now a runner in scoring position
Your attention.
for a pinch hitter.
For the University of Tampa, number
It's
13,
Anthony Nunez.
Anthony Nunez.
Do whatever you can to tie. As weird as it sounds, bring some soccer terminology in this, salvage a point. That is all you can do in this moment right here. Treat it like a win and snag a point if you're A.J. Causey. Got to get out of it here now.
First pitch to Nunez, slow breaking ball, misses the outer half, and it's 1-0. Nunez, a switch hitter, batting left-handed against the righty Causey. Nunez has a 161 average entering the night through 15 games. 1-0. Swinging a pop-up left side, could be out of play as McKenzie goes over into foul ground on the left side to make the catch, and that ends the ball game. So it wasn't pretty, But the Doors do come away with a point out at Veterans Field in a 1-1 tie with the Chatham Anglers. So that wraps up the Doors season series with the A's and with the Eastern Division. But at the very least, the Doors now go back home with a losing streak snapped and a point to stay ahead of the Wareham Gatemen.
So massive knowing the Gatemen lost tonight as well, 6-5 to the Brewster Whitecaps. So that magic number goes down a little bit. If you're the Falmouth Commodores, just got to keep going. Focus on your own game, win the games that you have in front of you. If you clinch that night, so be it. But it all comes down to tomorrow, because that's the next game up. Falmouth Commodores take on the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox, one of, if not the best team on Cape Cod right now. It is ever so important to grab a win against the Sox and avoid the sweep against the Sox.
So the Doors do not go into tomorrow's game against the Eastern Division leading Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox with a 3-game losing streak. Instead, Falmouth scraps out a tie here at Veterans Field, 1-1 your final score again. The Doors took 8 innings to score their first run and spoiled a threat in the 9th inning as the Anglers tried to come back off of right-hander A.J. Causey. But that's how this one ended, with an Anthony Nunez pop-up. So the Doors, with their final East Coast road trip wrapped up, now head home with just 4 games remaining on the regular season schedule. We'll see you back at the Gov on the Falmouth Commodores YouTube channel for tomorrow's broadcast against the Red Sox. This has been Carter Bainbridge along with Trey Redfield and our field reporter Logan Soferenko from Veterans Field. That's all for us tonight, and we'll see you tomorrow, and good night.